Wow.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Digital Fiasco Live. My name's Dandr0id.
And I am Jack McBastard.
And we're here for the second part of the doubleheader.
You know what we don't have?
What's that?
Mugs.
Oh, we don't have our water. Shit. I'm sure someone can help us out with that.
This whole double feature thing is really a fucking
You had 2
raw
hours,
deal.
so...
I was busy writing up high-quality news and information
I'm glad
for the
that
people.
you wait until the last minute before the show to do that.
That
That doesn't help, Jack. Thanks for the water, though. Would you mind go getting our mugs, please?
They're in
It is
the,
not a lot of work. Could you please go get our mugs?
They're in
We're
the
gonna
staff
need it.
kitchen. They're in the dishwasher. It was my turn.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And no, Jack is not naked with cat ears. That is all done with because he's on camera now. So.
Did I miss something while I was writing?
Oh yeah, they were writing their furry porn stuff about you. So yeah,
excellent.
It was a good time.
Excellent. Well, at least it turned out better than that Harry Potter nonsense for the last 12-hour stream.
Yes, obviously.
Gross. And
Anyways,
yep.
yeah, so not a normal night again, just like last week. We're normally on Monday nights, but hey, we're glad you're all here and you're awesome in the chat there. So yeah, it's Digital Fiasco Live. We're here for Tuesday night
Yep.
to talk about all the latest and greatest in video gaming news.
Yep. We apparently have some kind of wicked delay on our soundboard today.
Why is that? Was it with the other show too, or
Yeah, I noticed it when Albel punned for the first time, and I
and then you had to shatter
and
the glass late?
It was like a minute later. So yeah, our soundboard may not be quite as on the up and up today.
That's fine.
That's
you
okay.
randomly use it anyways.
Very rarely on myself. Typically, it's as a punitive measure. Usually, when Albel is saying something stupid, which is a lot of the time.
I don't know. You like your court sound or whatever. The
Law and Order.
Law and Order one.
Well, that was from last week because we had like
Yeah.
5 different lawsuit-related video game
all the
news.
legal news.
Yeah.
Hey, Gagwash, thanks for staying in the chat. And yeah, so
Hey, Gagalosh, how you doing?
okay, so
And the Cash family.
yeah,
William Shatner's possessed the soundboard. Well,
because it's stuttered and
sudden delays when
trying to play sounds.
having a reaction. Suddenly, there's a large pause in the middle.
I would have hit one of the buttons, but I think I missed.
Oh, and there we go.
Yay!
Excellent.
Our mugs have arrived.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Our slightly less aggressively unpaid intern.
And Rutu says you can buy another soundboard from Priceline.
Priceline.com. Yes, indeed. All right, so Digital Fiasco, episode 55.
Yeah.
For January the 29th.
I can't believe we're lagging behind Comic Sans
Well,
now.
yeah, it's because Mondays are always where they have like the 3-day weekends,
right,
and, the big
right,
holidays.
yes. So
right?
they have an unfair advantage.
No one has a Tuesday goddamn holiday.
Yeah.
Let them fuckers deal with it on Thursday when Thanksgiving comes around in the States, right?
Yeah.
Black Friday comes out. See if they're going to be on stream with nobody.
Oh, Streamsters, could you please post out to Twitter for us too? Because I didn't get to do that. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Wait.
We will survive.
No, that's right. Okay.
You have your black mug and I have the white one.
Black mug.
Well, you specifically ordered that for yourself. It is the only one in existence. So.
Actually, there are 2.
Oh, there are 2.
Yes.
Well, where's the other one? Are you saving it for a rainy day?
No, it's we re-rotate them.
I have never gotten a drink out of a black mug, so.
Well, I have
rotate
2.
that.
Well, it's so this way because that's the pairing, right? It's the white and the black. It's always the way it's been. Anyway, regardless. So, how's it going?
I'm good.
What are you doing this week?
You gonna
say-
this
you say
week
Mega
or
Man?
what did I do last week?
Oh, okay, last week.
Okay.
Or this week. I mean, yesterday was Monday. Technically, it's a new
I
week.
never plan ahead of time.
No?
You know that. That's way too much thought process.
That's true.
No, actually, I took a complete break from Mega Man this
Thank
week.
you.
Because
I was really sick of hearing about it.
Honestly, even if I was playing Mega Man,
Yep.
there wouldn't be much to talk about now because I'm just playing Mega Man. That's it.
Yes.
But no, I took a break from Mega Man because I was on to I would consider it like more important things right now.
Yep.
Because I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts 2. So because 3 is out today.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
Yeah. So
Was that out today? No
yeah.
idea.
Oh, don't worry. Stick around for the Triple D because that.
Oh yes. I'm sure
it's,
that'll.
yeah, it's gonna be slim pickings.
There you go.
Anyways, yeah, playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 because I've played through Kingdom Hearts 1 before.
Mm-hmm.
Played through it again to do catch up. We watched all the cutscenes to fill in all the blanks because there were so fucking many of them.
A few cutscenes.
And then yeah, so because I had never actually played through all of Kingdom Hearts 2 and gotten the ending, I decided to go ahead and do that. So now we're gonna go through that finish that up right near the end of it,
Yep.
and then going to pick up Kingdom Hearts 3 probably on the weekend or something like that. So
No, the Cash family, Triple D is not furry porn.
no, it is not furry porn.
I mean, I guess that would be like the Triple D would be like at most it'd be that woman on Mars in Total Recall. But I mean, she wasn't a furry so much as a mutant.
yeah, a bit of a difference there.
Yeah, pretty much.
But hey, you write your own fan fiction.
Yes.
So it's all good. But yeah, so
Triple biddies.
playing Kingdom Hearts 2, it's funny. It's one of those things that strikes me as I understand why there's some people that don't like the series outside of just the really confusing ass storyline.
Okay.
And it's because the game, you really, really have to give it a chance, because it's one of those games that, you know, the first, I think, hour or two of the game, you're playing as Roxas, which isn't even the main character in the game.
Sure.
So it's almost like you're playing this elongated tutorial just to get some storyline
Okay.
that they probably could have explained in about 10 minutes. And then after that, then you get on to playing Sora, who's the main main hero. And then even at that, you have to go a few more hours into the game before you start getting like combat abilities outside of like the generic basic combat attack and like that. So I can understand why people would get, 5 hours in the game. You're like, oh, this is so like kind of monotonous and boring. But now when I'm near the end of the game game has such good flow to it, and the combat is awesome, and there's like magic and different like air combos, and you get crazy good weapons and all these boosters and buffs and stuff. And the combat actually gets really good and really intense, and it's just really unfortunate that they make you wait so long for the combat to actually get that good.
Well, I mean, it just shows you the progression between that, which was Kingdom Hearts 2, then you move on to like Final Fantasy 13, where you go full 24 hours of gameplay before you can level up your character.
that game has its own. Yeah, they're even commenting on there. Yeah, Final Fantasy 13 was 90% tutorial.
That's about right. You run down the tunnel for like 18 hours, and then you're in a big field that you can go in a bunch of different places, but it's just one big field. And
90% tutorial, 10% story, all hallway. Pretty much.
Oh my god.
No, it was definitely 13. That was that.
Yes.
But anyways, yeah. So Kingdom Hearts 2 it's awesome. Like you actually feel like you're getting a good chunk of the story. It starts to kind of make sense as long as you've kind of filled in some of those cutscenes.
Well,
and
I'll get there yet.
And it's a good play. You just have to get into it.
So have you like worked out the time required? Like if you go like how long to beat? How much time do you have to go through all of them before you get to Kingdom Hearts 3?
Oh god, all of them?
Well, is that what your plan is? Like what's your plan?
What we did basically was we own like the mega mix or whatever of all the games, but some of them are, a little hellish to play, or some of them were only licensed to like Nintendo 3DS, so they only have the cutscenes on the disc. So what we did was we went in and we watched all of the cutscenes.
Yep.
Played Kingdom Hearts 1, watched all the cutscenes in between, and then I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2, and then there's 2 more games after that, and we're going to watch the cutscenes for those, and then we're going to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
Because they're by far the best games to play. And then the reason why you watch a lot of those cutscenes, too, is that one of the games that you actually need for all of the, like, previous, like, the beginning of the storyline.
You're not going to, like, spoil anything, right?
No, literally, I'm just saying.
I know
like,
they're old games, but I'm just starting, right?
Why it's so difficult is because the beginning of the story was an online, Japan-only, like, clicker kind of game thing.
Fantastic.
That had, cutscenes and story built into it, but they went back and they remastered and they added stuff, and then they added, like, proper cutscenes and everything. So it's like, just go watch the fucking cutscenes, because you can't even play the game anymore.
Was this series directed by the guy who did Nier as well? Like, what the fuck?
There's some serious, like, Tarantino shit going on there or something. I don't know. But anyways, definitely, like, 2 is awesome once you give it a try. Near the end, it's, like, really fucking epic. And, yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on Kingdom Hearts 3 this weekend.
15 was bad in a lot of ways, Gaga. And Tron has the perfect summary of Final Fantasy 15. I'm going to go off and do my own thing. No reason. I'll tell you about it later if you give me money. Meanwhile, he comes back with scars or blind or a robot. It is basically the summary.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, and then, one other thing that I've been playing here. Let me just check. I can't remember what the fucking name of it is. Yeah, there we go. Okay. As I've done in the last couple weeks here, I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos and trying to look up, like, classics for, like, PlayStation and Nintendo and stuff like that. And I found this one. I've never heard of it before. I tried a ROM of it, and it was so fucking good that I went and bought it on PS3 because I couldn't get it on PS4.
This isn't like Gun Explosion Bike.
No.
Whatever the hell it was.
Believe me, I wish I could have gotten Speed Power Gun Bike on my PlayStation. Gun Bike,
that's what it was. Okay.
But again, it's one of those things. That's why I played it as a ROM, because you can't fucking buy it. No, even if I bought it, no money would go to the developer. So it's just one of those unfortunate things. This one, on the other hand, I did play a ROM of it, and I love it so much in the first little bit that I was like, can I buy this legally? Yes, I can. It's on the PS3.
What is it?
It is called Alundra for the PS1.
Oh, yeah, sure.
This is like...
I physically own that game, too.
Oh, do you? Okay, well, there you go. So you know all about it.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that don't know what Alundra is, it's on PlayStation 1. You can buy it on PlayStation 3, but unfortunately it's not available on PS4. This is like a slightly more advanced, slightly more grown-up version of A Link to the Past, basically. So it was a PS1 classic. It looked very much like A Link to the Past, just with more advanced graphics. It looked a little more like it had the art style of like Final Fantasy Tactics almost, but played very, very much like A Link to the Past. So it's just a classic top-down slasher adventure type game, but with a lot of heavy puzzle elements. And there we go. So yes. Very nice. Actually, it's a very nice cover. It actually has like foil in it.
Well, yeah, it was an old Working Designs port. They did a bunch of those good ones.
But yeah, so I was looking up like what's some classic PlayStation 1 like action adventure platformer games and stuff. This one came up in almost every person's like top 10 list for PS1 games. So I was like, okay, what is this fucking game? So I took a look at it, tried it out, and I just totally sold on it in the first like 10 minutes. Because again, like... Link to the Past and a lot of those classic adventure, top-down adventure games, I fucking love those ones.
Sure.
And this one is absolutely top of that list. I can understand why everyone has this on their top 10 list now, because it is fucking spectacular.
Oh yeah, very good game.
Controls really well. The puzzles are actually very interesting and well done for like just a top-down kind of dungeon crawler type game. Like they're so interesting and unique in how they use really just different ideas on how to, like, you know, you throw barrels on switches, and there's like different, like, you know, puzzle room elements and whatnot, and using your weapon and your magic to like interact with stuff like that. Like it's a beautiful mix of that, and I love it because it's kind of old school difficult too, because they never hold your hand through anything in this fucking game.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah. So I'm only a little bit into it so far, but fuck, am I ever enjoying it. So yes, I'm totally looking forward to actually just playing more of it and finishing that one, because it's great.
Sure.
And that's the thing, is I'm glad that there are these games that I'm finding that I didn't even know existed, because there's so many times where you go back and you're like, oh, this was my favorite game, or this is on my top 10 game list, and then people ask you, what game would you want to erase from your mind and go back and play it fresh again because it was so impactful on you. I'm glad that I'm finding these games, because this is one of those ones that I would have wanted to erase from my mind just to play it again the first time.
On that note, actually, one that is always one that I suggest, and now I've only just realized that it is yet another casualty of my stance on Konami, and is really unfortunate because it was a great series, intermittently anyway, but has not had a proper... entry in that series in many years at this point, so it's never coming back.
Right.
Suikoden.
Oh, yes, of course.
And I mean, the first two are available on PSN right now, so if you have a PS3 or PS Vita.
Oh, and I think that's another one that always shows up on all those like JRPG lists. Suikoden 2?
2 especially, yeah.
2 is like the creme de la creme of JRPGs.
For the longest time, it was like $300 or $400 to buy that until it came out digitally.
Wild Arms is your favorite, I think.
Well, Wild Arms at the time, I liked it better than Final Fantasy VII.
And that one is honestly, it's still one that I have to fully experience. I played some back in the day, but
it's great.
It was when
that intro, man.
Final Fantasy VII was like the hot ticket, so I was like, oh shit, I actually like JRPGs now, because I didn't before. So then I went hungry for like everything I get my hands on, but I was just renting these things just to try a bunch of them out.
Sure.
And Wild Arms was one of those ones I was like, yes, I totally get this. It's awesome. But then I only got to play like, 10 hours of it or whatever.
And that very much had the same kind of almost a Metroidvania style puzzle solving where you got an ability and then you have to remember where all the things are, the switches for hand pan the mouse, and I think there was a hook shot, and there was a like magic things that I don't remember her name was. There was Rudy, there was the other guy, and then the woman, and they all had their individual powers. You had to swap between them eventually when they all got together to be able to get through all of the dungeons.
Yeah, you're using everyone's abilities to like actually, forge forward.
I remember the name of the mouse, which was Handpan. But I don't remember the other characters.
No, I've never actually played Tales of Destiny. Now, is that the beginning of the Tales saga?
It's irrelevant.
Like Tales of Berseria, Tales of Vesperia, whatever. Don't start.
Each one is like self-contained. It's even more so than Final Fantasy, where largely I won't say largely because mechanically they can be pretty severely different from entry to entry, but they have nothing to do with one another. So you can really play one and never play any of the others. You'll be fine. You can jump in wherever.
Oh, okay.
So all of the Tales games I have heard are really great. The only one I actually own is Tales of Berseria.
Oh wait, what fucking game did I play now? It looked like a JRPG, but it played more like an action game when you got in a fight. You actually had like a side-scrolling combat thing.
Side-scrolling at an angle?
No. Like it looked like Final Fantasy 3 or whatever. Like it was top down. You walked around. You could talk to people. When you got into combat, you actually went into an action side-scrolling thing, but you still had like little power bars and stuff at the bottom. It might have been Secret of Mana or something.
No, Secret of Mana was an overhead. It was like Evermore.
I know. I know I've played it before, so I'm not crazy. But if someone in the chat, if that sounds familiar to you, let me know what it is. It was on the Super Nintendo. Totally looked like one of the Final Fantasy, like classic Final Fantasy games.
Maybe Lufia.
But it was very unique because its combat was side-scrolling action rather than turn-based, just stand there and bounce at each other.
Side-scrolling action.
Yeah, like you had like a little chibi, dumb-looking character, but he had a sword, and you could like actually run after the enemy and like slash him and stuff like that.
I mean, that might be
Grand Theft Auto. It. It was Grand Theft Auto 3, of course. I'm an idiot.
Excellent guess, Tron. Lots of chibi side-scrolling RPG action in Grand Theft Auto.
Fat-headed little characters stealing cars.
Yeah, you steal a car, and then when you get into combat, No.
How awesome would it be to see a JRPG Grand Theft Auto? Like, that would be something else. That would be a sight to behold.
Sure. Laszlo uses sarcasm. It's super effective. All right, anything else you play?
No, that's it for that week. So yeah, you're probably just going to hear a lot of Kingdom Hearts 3 next week. But what have you been playing?
I've played two things. One of which we're going to talk about a little bit later during the options menu. And it's actually going to come up during the Triple D because it's a brand new game this week that probably no one's ever heard of or has on their radar, and that needs to change.
Gotcha.
I'm going to talk about that one. No, it's going to be excellent.
It's not Yakuza.
It is not Yakuza.
It's on everyone's radar, especially because Jack insists that everyone play it.
I beat that drum every time we talk about Yakuza, that everyone has to go out and play that series. But no, this is a brand new one that I'd never even heard of. And actually, one of our friends at PSU had reviewed it and was talking about it one day in the Discord.
I hope it's the one that I'm thinking it is.
It maybe is. But if it is, we'll talk about it. The other thing that isn't that, I'm playing something else.
Okay. And what is that thing?
What I can say about it is extremely limited.
Oh, NDA.
I am in the alpha for Satisfactory.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. In the alpha, though, so it's like...
I am in the alpha for Satisfactory.
Pretty bare bones, then.
That is the sum total.
That's exciting, though.
That is the sum total of what I am allowed to say.
Okay, it's all good.
Yes.
Is it that he can't even say? He can't say anything. That
by virtue of the title of the game.
That excites me, though, because me and you have both talked about it.
Yes.
We love that strange, wacky, like, it's not a business sim per se. It's just like a machine. It's a factory simulation, basically.
Right.
It's a puzzle factory, basically.
Like Factorio or...
Yeah, like all that stuff. But it's just it was such a cool concept, and it looked really good. So yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait till you're out of your NDA and you can actually talk about it.
I am in the alpha for Satisfactory.
Okay. So, do you want to talk about the other game you were playing then?
Yes.
You have to be stay mum on the other one.
I absolutely will a little bit later on, but we'll come back to that. We'll circle back around. But yeah, I played a little bit more of Just Cause 4. I had just finished off. What was it I was playing? Playing last week something else. I don't even remember what it was.
Angry
Oh,
Birds.
well, no, it was Ace Combat. I was playing Ace Combat.
Yeah.
It was like, so it was like, yeah, okay, whew, all done that. And it's like, oh, now I have this huge grind ahead of me for a platinum trophy.
I was going to say, did you get your platinum yet? But
oh, no,
not.
Jesus, no. Like, the amount of grind you have to do is like a bunch of online play. You have to, like, grind a bunch of money. It's going to be a haul, but I'll go back and do it.
Yeah.
I love that game. It was fantastic. But,
World of Warships, is that like World of Tanks,
I'm assuming,
but with battleships?
which is awesome. I'm hoping that, like, Skull and Bones is half.
I mean, yeah, you can keep your fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah, but anyway, so I just got finished that. I started on Just Cause 4, and then it was like I heard about this game, and I'm like, hey, can we get a code for that? We'll stream it out. We'll talk about it on the
I'm
game.
dying. What is the game?
Well, we're going to talk about the Triple D right now.
Okay, all right.
And it's in among that. So disc downloads and DLC, folks.
Okay, so Triple D. Oh no, my page closed. Why did you do that?
Jinx.
Give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, there we go.
Technical issue that isn't to do with the stream. That's
Just my phone. Don't worry about it.
okay.
It's just being an idiot. Oh yeah, there we go. It's like World of Tanks, basically.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay, so yes, coming
awesome.
out this week.
Yes.
First one that's up. I actually wrote a review, my first review for PSU.com. 8-Bit Hordes. So this one was from the same guys that did 8-Bit Armies. This is just an updated version with a few extras, and they made it more like Warcraft this time instead of Command and Conquer.
Now, I happen to have seen your review.
Yes.
As I recall, it did not review well.
Okay. All right, fine. Since I'm here and I can talk about it a bit,
Briefly.
it's
If our streamsters could actually plug the URL in the chat.
it
that'd
was
be good.
it was more or less, it was disappointing more than anything,
Okay.
because there's some really cool ideas and there's some great content in there. But it's buried under the same issue that a lot of RTS on consoles have. And that is lack
UI
of buttons
issues and
control, basically.
Yeah, the mouse always helps.
So I mean, like you know, you can move around fair enough, and you can do some of the basic stuff with the joysticks and everything like that. And they did try to make it convenient to map stuff to the buttons, but the problem is that with the amount of units you're controlling and the amount of moving around the map you need to do and all that kind of other stuff, and unfortunately is just more frustrating than anything to try to play.
And this is called 8-Bit Hordes?
Yeah, 8-Bit Hordes.
8-Bit
So
Hordes.
it looks like if you took Warcraft 2
Yep.
and made it in Minecraft. And,
Gotcha.
and then pulled the camera back, because it's 8-bit hordes, but they're made of voxels. They're 3D. You can actually like zoom into the play field and see them in full 3D and stuff like that. But they're made of voxels.
Yeah, I'm
so.
really tired of games like that and like Boundless. Like the whole idea of the massive chunky voxel characters was interesting then.
I mean, again, it has its place,
Yeah, but
it's been overused.
it really
That's
has.
the problem. There's there's some games that are voxel based that look really cool because either they were made back when Minecraft was just popping up, so they kind of used it to their advantage, or there's certain games that really base themselves around voxel graphics, and it's like, okay, that looks cool because they used it for that specific reason.
Like Westwood's Blade Runner game.
But the
seriously, they did back in the day.
Was it voxels?
It was.
Really?
Yeah, it was like really interesting because it was like all the characters, they were 3D, but they were absolutely not 3D.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It was weird.
But yeah, unfortunately, this one is just, I think they were kind of just leaning into that a little bit too much, and I think part of it comes from 8-Bit Armies coming out in, I think, 2012 or something like that, back when voxels were hitting it big. It kind of led off of that, and they just made the same game with some improvements and new teams.
So spoiler alert, for those who want to see the scathing review that Dan gave this game, go ahead and click the link.
I go in the description of the frustrations, but some of the good content in it too. But yeah, the link is there.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out. And again, get it if you want it, because if you want an RTS, it's not. You can do worse. Believe me, you can do worse on the system, but
and have. Yep.
But yeah,
what else do we have?
So we also have Genesis Alpha 1.
Ding ding.
There it is. Okay, good. That makes me so excited, because this one, because of the kind of bland art it had, when I was looking at the list, I was like, oh, I don't even know what this is, but I'll just check the trailer to make sure. And I am so fucking glad that I did, because this looks amazing. Please tell me it's good.
It's definitely good. Like looking at it in still photos, I was looking at this, I'm like, what is this? Why is the UI like this?
Yeah,
Why is everything so crap. And then when you go into it and you realize, oh, it's like how they designed the UIs of all the monitors in Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Because it was like the style of the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah. So it has its own kind of theme to it.
Right. So the Alien style, old crappy monitors and whatnot. So when you actually get into the game itself and you start playing this very unusual style of game.
Yeah.
It's like a roguelike space travel
to put it
thing.
out there, yeah. So Genesis Alpha 1.
Yeah.
It is
Let's not go too much into it.
No, I'm literally just going to tell you what the game is. It's a roguelike, shipbuilding, tower defense, first-person shooter. That like
Pretty much that
it's
hits
all of those things in one.
Plus, it has resource management and
and some other genre bending things.
Basic squad-based combat.
It's fucking insane. I watched the trailer. I was like, how does this all exist in one game?
Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, I'll talk about that a bit more during our Fiasco picks, or the pick of the Fiasco.
So yeah, I'm
Toy.
That made me super excited to see something like that come out.
$29.99. It's on PSN right now.
Yep.
I would recommend it. Yeah, and will later today.
And outside of that, we all know what we're here for. It's Tuesday.
Hong Kong Massacre.
Yes, Hong Kong Massacre, of course. No, I don't even know what that one was. Somebody said it was like Hotline Miami, but it was made by a Chinese dev. Outside of that, I'm like, whatever. Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3, 13 years in the making. It's finally out. And the peasants rejoice. Again, I am trying to stay completely away from everything. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and all that stuff like that. But as soon as I see something that says Kingdom Hearts 3, I scroll right the fuck past it because I don't want anyone to spoil anything.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna wait until they finally patch in the ending and decide, whether or not they've actually solved everything, or if they need to come out with a 3.18 like 3.14159 version or something.
No, I think at this point, if they
Kingdom Hearts Pi edition,
if they don't explain everything by the ending of this game, they're gonna have his head on a pike, basically.
Yeah, sure.
Because you want to talk about a rabid fucking fan base.
Squaresoft. If anything Squaresoft does, it satisfies people after a long
Kingdom
wait.
Hearts transcends Squaresoft at this point. They might as well call the company Kingdom Hearts instead of Squaresoft or Squeenix.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
But anyways, yeah, so of course that's the big one this week. People have been waiting fucking forever for this. The people are like, they're losing their fucking minds over it. And and with good cause, because it's apparently a gem of a game, and people have been waiting so long for the answers to the fucking burning questions of this storyline, or just the confusing shit that's been up in your head for the past 10 years.
Another thing that's coming out this week on Thursday, if you have a Switch, the one that you like, Downwell, is coming out for the Switch.
Oh, fuck yes. If you have a Switch, buy Downwell. It is an absolute gem of a game.
If you have a Switch and like the high Twitch reflexes, because goddamn.
It's a 2D scroller Twitch shooter type game, but it is a ton of fun, lots of replayability, absolute gem of an indie game. Yeah, I adore that game.
All right, so we got the Xbox games with gold have been announced for February. We don't have any idea on the PS Plus yet.
Yeah, I know. We're just on the cusp of it, and they didn't give us them.
Well, we'll probably hear this weekend. Like it's typically how it comes out.
I know. I just like to be able to report it fresh rather than waiting.
That's true. So games with gold for February, which is a good one. They're going to get Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon. It is only a $10 game, though, but it's a free game. It's a good game.
Oh, right. That's the prequel, like 8-bit game.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
That's a good grab.
I mean, Bloodstained, because of the issues with some of his other games, I didn't want to get into Bloodstained, or I heard it was good.
I've seen a playthrough of it, and it looks fucking spectacular.
All right. Well, that's available February 1st to 28th on Xbox One. Super Bomberman R, which is a $40 value, that is February 16th to March 15th. Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is a fantastic fucking game. Unfortunately, it looks like it's the original version, not the remastered version. That's available.
That sucks.
I honestly don't know if the Rogue, the remastered edition, is on Xbox
Oh, maybe
One.
That was it. Maybe they just never got that one.
I don't even know. Anyway, February 1st to 15th on Xbox One and 360, so that's a backwards compatible title.
Yeah.
But a hidden gem, that's one that people they glossed over because it was the same year that Unity came out.
Yeah.
And Unity was kind of
Well, and that's the problem is that usually the off Assassin's Creed games, when they used to do that, they usually were okay, but it was only if you were really into that story that you like had to play them.
Yeah, and then it was like 2 the same year is even worse. And you also get Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, which is the third Jedi Jedi Knight, fourth Dark Forces game.
I love the Jedi Knight games.
Jedi Academy wasn't great.
I loved them.
Jedi Knight 2, which was Dark Forces 2, which was Jedi Knight, and then there was Jedi Knight.
Wait, was that the fully 3D one where you could throw your lightsaber and stuff?
No,
that was Jedi Knight. Dark Forces was the first person
Dark Forces,
one.
But Jedi Knight was Dark Forces 2, and then they did the other one, the third one.
Don't worry about it.
Doesn't matter. There was also an expansion in there.
Yeah,
too,
Goggle, we actually talked about this, but that's literally what it's coming down to. I mean, it's Kingdom Hearts 3 is done and out the door. It's all official.
You wish.
That's it. So
they're coming back. They're doing more. They want money.
All right, calm your tits. It'll take another 20 years, so don't worry about it. But yes, that is exactly it. Kingdom Hearts 3 is done. They can no longer hang that in front of our face or anything like that. It's on to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because they ain't got nothing else going on right now.
Right. So, okay. All right, so let's talk about the news. So we just heard, I think it was yesterday, Insomniac had a big live stream. So I had my conspiracy theory about how Insomniac was going to give us the symbiote suit.
Yep.
Because they're going to do a whole Fantastic Four thing, and they fucking didn't. So
can't believe you're still so salty about this.
They gave us 2 suits for no reason to celebrate the Fantastic Four, but no Fantastic Four content per se.
His Foundation suit was part of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you get your future Foundation suit, you got your bombastic Bagman suit, but
didn't you want that one? I thought you were saying you wanted that one.
it's
because it's so stupid.
It's iconic, but going back to it was Amazing Spider-Man 258 says our research department. But no symbiote suit still. But it would have been the perfect fucking entry if they wanted to do another DLC run. It would be perfect to do Fantastic Four and bring in the Venom suit.
Yeah, they gotta hold something back for Spider-Man 2. The game is such a fucking absolute gem of a game, and they gave us 40 costumes for Spider-Man. I can't complain.
I can, because they gave us a bunch of shit ones in the end.
Shake your fist to that cloud harder.
I damn well will. All right, so unfortunately, no symbiote suit yet, so I'm still complaining about that and Virtual Console. Interesting. Yesterday, Deep Silver just became the latest publisher to sign an exclusivity agreement with Epic Games for their platform. So their distribution platform and 4A Games' brand new title, Metro Exodus, is going to be exclusive to the Epic Games platform for PC for 1 year.
I know, and that's a good chunk of time.
That's a big get.
Usually when you get that type of thing, like if it's it's on Xbox first, but it'll go to PlayStation, you're looking at the 3 to 6 month range. But for the Epic to get it a year,
all of these are for a year
Valve,
too.
That's a good chunk of time. That is a lot of money up front there.
Oh yeah, and it's like they're getting top billing. It's like that one, and Satisfactory, and a bunch of the big ones. Like Division 2 is going to be first on Epic.
Yep.
Like that's. Wow,
they're making a power move, and you know what?
They're doing it.
It's the funniest part is it's one of those things of Valve sitting on their giant golden throne, not doing anything except selling fucking games, and now they're shaking their fist of like, hey, that's not fair, guys. It's like, well,
to be fair, after good old games and Uplay and the Microsoft Store and Origin all tried their kick at the can and said, oh, we're going to take our games and go home, and Valve's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And now, for the first time, they actually have a solid challenger.
Yeah, but then the funny part about it is that their response is saying, that's not fair. Give me a fucking break, all right? Pull them up.
Yep.
Do something, Valve. You can't stay on top of the heap forever. So
we think the decision to remove the game is unfair to Steam customers, especially after a long pre-sale period. We apologize to Steam customers that were expecting to be it to be available for sale throughout February the 15th release date, but we were only recently informed of the decision and given limited time to let everyone know. But the good news is that all of your pre-orders will still be honored when the game comes out on Steam sometime in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like okay, they're getting their game. It's of no, like, you know, no disservice to the fans that bought it early or whatever. It's not like, oh, well, you have to wait 6 months because, oh, we'll have to switch over your game code and everything like that. It's like, no, they just get it on a different thing.
Yeah, they'll just cancel and move over. But get this, like, they're not pulling any punches either at Deep Silver. It's like Clemens Kondratic, he's the CEO. Epic's generous revenue terms are a game changer that will allow publishers to invest more into content creation or pass on savings to the players. By teaming up with Epic, we will be able to invest more into the future of Metro and our ongoing partnership with series developer 4A Games to the benefit of our Metro fans. It like sums it right up. Like it's literally a hard and fast money decision. Was it Steam takes 30%, and I think the Epic one only takes 12. I think it is.
Yeah,
and then plus you get like. Unreal for free,
and then and if you built your game in Unreal Engine, then it costs you nothing unless
the licensing fees.
I guess
anyway.
Unless you're AAA or something, maybe they're still going to charge them. But either way,
that doesn't seem to be how the deal was structured.
It's a fraction of the fucking money that Steam takes. So, you know, any developer with a brain in their head is going to basically take that deal now. So Steam and Valve are really going to have to step up their game to make their storefront, you know, seem that much more tantalizing to new devs.
I have literally only had one experience with the Epic launcher, so I don't really know, like, in terms of organizations or features, but it was like it loaded up, it launched.
That's basically it, and we had talked about Epic launcher when they had first basically launched it or whatever, and it was nice because their whole idea wasn't to kind of bog the system down and have all this intertwined bullshit like Steam does. They were like, no, this is literally just a launcher for your games. We're not going to like put a bunch of trash in it and everything like that. It's going to run super clean and fast because it's basic as shit. And I like that idea. That's the way. If all these devs are going to have their own fucking launchers and everything like that, that's the way they need to be. Because if I'm going to have 10 fucking launchers on my desktop, they better be basic as shit, or else I ain't gonna fucking use them because it's gonna bog my computer down when I'm trying to play my games.
Right. I don't even know how many times I had multiple Steam engines running in the background, like terminated stuck, like processes that didn't shut down and crap. It's happened.
And then you're sitting in a game and everything's like trying to fucking update and everyone's like, no, stop, just let me play my fucking game.
And Naruto, that's strictly for the PC exclusives. If you want to play Metro, it's still going to be available for PlayStation and Xbox One on the
because the storefronts don't really factor into the consoles at that point. Yeah, it's literally just a PC thing.
Yeah.
Even then, if it's exclusive to Epic or whatever, they're fighting amongst themselves. The customer wins because dev gets to keep more money to make their game better or do more advertising or whatever. And if you have a PC, you have the launcher. It doesn't matter where your exclusive is. You can just fucking get it anyways.
Apparently Deep Silver is also bringing 2033 Redux and Metro Last Light Redux to the Epic Games Store later this year as well. So they're going to get a bigger piece of the pie there. So the only radioactive wasteland is really going to be Steam post Epic Games, I think, all things considered.
They still have Fallout, don't they?
Yes. Ghost Train. Anyway, that's a Metro joke for anyone who's played it. Or, I guess, technically a Final Fantasy VI joke, because you could have Ghost Train. Anyway.
Oh, and gosh, again, they're timed exclusives, but the customer wins.
It's a year, right?
It's a year, but again, it's you can get any one of those launchers and you can get it day one. It's not like me owning PS4 and not an Xbox and all of a sudden I have to wait 6 months for a game to come over to the PS4.
Yep.
You have your PC, you can get the game.
And it's not like you have to pay anything for the different launcher. You just
they're fighting amongst themselves and the customer gets their game anyways, so
don't feel I'm winning. You'll get sick of winning. There'll be so much winning. I mean, honestly, the big win is to the developer, but if they do pass that on to the customer a little bit even, that's good. Honestly, it's just as long as that results in like less crunch time and whatnot.
That would be an amazing move to see by developers. Say, hey, because we're not getting charged up the ass of the 30% towards the storefront.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, hey, our game is fucking $5 cheaper or $10 cheaper or something.
Yeah.
That would be amazing to see.
We shall see.
Because they could even tote that as like, hey, we saved money, now you save money. You buy it on Epic, it's $10 less than if you buy it on Steam a year later.
Well, you never know. Probably some kind of reward system that way. All right, so
Cash Family, let me dream. Come on, I know it won't
yeah,
happen.
of course they won't. Hey, you never know. I mean, you sometimes see it as cheaper on some like obviously the PC games are cheaper than the console equivalents because they don't have to pay licensing fees and whatnot. But all right, so on the topic of radioactive wastelands, Bethesda still doesn't know how the fuck to sell Fallout 76.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I mean, well,
how many months are we into this now, and they're still like, I don't know what this is.
Well, it's basically like E3, right? No, it wasn't E3. It was it was E3. They first announced it. That came out in like November of last year, and it cratered. No pun intended. And now they're coming out with a brand new PvP mode that is just straight up. They call it survival.
Okay.
And it's basically non-consensual PvP. If you're in this mode, it's
Rust.
all basically, yeah.
Every man for himself.
Yeah.
If you log off, you're fucked.
I don't know, like, if it's going to be, like, straight up you lose your shit. Like, I don't think it's going to be, like, you know, like a PUBG kind of system. But it is going to be more cutthroat. There's not going to be a revenge mode. If you do kill someone because of the harder nature of it, you're going to get double the caps. And there's a chance for special loot. You typically get like some of their crafting materials in like a paper bag.
Oh, okay.
It's like they're carrying their lunch around with them.
It's their lunch money.
You're right, but it's got some kind of like better loot you might find in their stuff. But,
yeah, because it's a harder skill set or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what, and honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm fine with a mode like that in there because there are people out there that dedicate themselves to playing that type of game.
I prefer it was in a better game.
I mean, a lot of people do, but either way, at least they're adding stuff to the game rather than taking stuff out of it. Because we've seen that before where they're just like, oh, this mode's broken, or like, oh, nobody's playing this, so we'll just take it out of the game. And so they're adding stuff, they're trying to add content, so it counts for something. But again, it's still seems to be a broken mess of a game that it has its fan base, but it's just very limited compared to your typical Fallout type situation.
Honestly, I think that fan base is all made up of the same people who bought Destiny thinking, this is going to be a great game. I love playing the same seven missions over and over again.
I can definitely say that Destiny has a much more bigger and dedicated fan base than Fallout 76 does.
Well, yes, but as a counterpoint, hunters suck.
Well, that doesn't count for anything, so... You just keep saying that.
I know they're out there, and I know they're gritting their teeth. Anyway, let's move on to a post-apocalyptic scenario of a different sort. We're one step closer to Skynet. And
How so?
It's a little bit terrifying, but Watson we used to have with like he beat Ken Jennings, the Jeopardy guy.
Oh yeah.
It's like after a week of like at their exhibition games, and Watson sometimes had some really weird stuff, but overall won a shitload of money.
Right.
Yeah, so there is an even more challenging test of AI that has just been accomplished like mid-December.
Okay.
And Google's AI DeepMind using a software called AlphaStar has beaten multiple pro players, like worldwide pro players of Starcraft 2.
Oh, really?
In a series of games, yeah. So this is like Team Liquid's stars. So Dario Tilo Wunsch, and he also played Gregor Mana-Komanic, one of the world's strongest professional StarCraft players. Against Wunsch, he had a first game startup, and he beat him. Mm-hmm. Then they played a 5-game tournament, and AlphaStar beat him 5 games to nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, they don't really tell you what he was playing. I'm assuming he's like giant Zerg Rush. Who knows? It would make sense. But
the computer would calculate what's the best, fastest way to crush this human. And
that's exactly what they did, actually, because apparently the way they taught the thing, they learned it. They taught it to learn by imitation, first of all. So they fed in like thousands and thousands of hours of anonymized gameplay data. So replays and whatnot from thousands of games. So they started developing like generic strategies such that they could beat the highest level AI in the game like 95% of the time. So it's like on tier with like a high level human opponent.
Yeah.
Then they started doing multi-agent learning where they actually tailored their strategy specifically to some of these pros. Like they watched their replays,
those specific games, and
so like they started learning how to beat this guy specifically and how to adapt to strategies like on the fly, and it's kind of terrifying. So 5-0. This guy, he's a world champion. And, yeah, we're all fucked. We're all fucked.
Yeah, gosh, I was thinking kind of the same thing. Glad AI advancements are being used to win Starcraft instead of cure shit.
Well, I mean, it's literally like the measure of AI. It used to be chess, right? They used to think, oh, chess is the most challenging game in the world.
You got to start somewhere.
Right?
You crawl before you walk.
Right? But now it's like we've come to the point where Starcraft, with all the chaos and whatnot on the battlefield, like, that's crazy.
The only thing that kind of sticks out in my mind about that type of situation is that, yes, an AI can learn. It can learn, you know, it knows all the stats of all these different characters, and it knows how to Zerg rush, and it knows how to defend itself and build all these things. So one of the things that it will always have over human being is speed and accuracy. Because it's a fucking computer. Yeah. It will have pinpoint accuracy and speed.
It still had to deal with limited information of the fog of war and whatnot. So it had no additional information, but based on what it saw, could react instantly, could react with the best possible defense, you know, could sort through millions of possible combinations and choose the correct strategy.
Because I've seen some of those StarCraft players, they're fucking pro with the keyboard. They got all the strats and they're like super fast with their hotkeys, but they'll never beat a computer. A human will not beat a computer at that speed and accuracy.
Nope.
So that's definitely a one-up that the computer has over them.
I can't even beat normal players, let alone a pro player.
That's like StarCraft. I used to play multiplayer all the time, and then when StarCraft 2 came out, I was like, nah, multiplayer ain't for me anymore. I'll just play the story mode.
No. See, I used to like RTS games, and primarily the reason I loved RTS games was when we would play them as a LAN.
Yeah.
So it wasn't for beating them in the game itself. I remember one time in particular we were playing, I don't remember, I think it was either Star Trek Armada, which is basically a StarCraft.
StarCraft, Star Trek.
Yeah, basically exactly the same. Or it was Star Wars Force Commander, which wasn't a great game, but it had AT-ATs. So
it had Star Wars flavor, so
made
it better.
Literally, it's like just the room with all the computers and all you hear is clacking and whatnot.
Yep.
And then from across the room, as my wave descends upon the soon-to-be destroyed person, they see wave upon wave of huge forces. All I hear from across the room is, whatever! you know?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what made my night. Yeah. Holy shit! Basically.
Oh, yeah, you're holy shit in the ear.
Yeah. It's like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? All right, so...
AI beat old Brood War expansion.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I'm sure it would do it with flying colors at this point.
Probably. All right, so going back to the money question, we have some Lootbox Corner.
Oh, God, here we go. All right.
Lootbox Corner.
What do we got for Lootboxes this week?
We need Lootbox Corner theme. So, first of all, Fortnite, they don't have loot boxes, they have loot llamas.
Of
They're
course.
like the big pinata.
It's a giant, colorful pinata.
Yeah, weird Quetzalcoatl looking thing. Anyway, so completely on their own, through no pressure or whatsoever, Epic has decided to revamp their loot llamas to make them transparent, what you get in them.
Oh, okay.
And when I say transparent, I mean literally. They're called X-ray llamas.
Okay.
You can see what's inside them.
Yeah.
And the
it's like they're made of
is,
glass now.
Yeah. So they play on this joke, blah, blah. But the point is that you can now see what's in them before you buy them.
Okay.
So there are different quality items, or pardon me, different like quality packs you can buy for ever increasing values, but you'll be able to see what's in each one. And it's randomized.
Okay.
And if you don't like what's in it, basically you wait till tomorrow, it's a new thing.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
Hey, honestly, good on them. That's one step forward for like loot box bullshit.
Yeah, so that's now as of update version 7.30. And you can't buy more than one at a time either now.
Oh, okay. So
you buy one, and then you look at it, you buy it, and then you open it, and then you get the new one that pops up. You can't just buy like a bunch of them, and you know, it's very strange how these completely unrelated, randomly implemented features all seem to jive with the complying with like the anti-gambling laws in EMEA that are so just.
I mean, yeah,
strident.
It's change or die basically. Because a game like Fortnite is, as we've seen with legal battles, is the biggest target for everyone. And if they're going to start pulling in the whole aiming gambling at children and stuff like that, change your fucking note or get out. Like, they would get swamped in fucking court.
Isn't that game rated M for mature in the first place?
Fortnite?
Yeah.
No, it has cartoon violence. It's probably teen at best.
Okay. I don't even know.
Yeah. Now, PUBG, on the other hand...
Well, that's a bit different.
It's more realistic or whatever.
A little bit.
See, that again, it was another smart thought on Fortnite's part to make it look like a Pixar movie because... Again, kids like the visuals. Parents don't get that angry because it doesn't look that realistic, and it's like, hey, it's fun for everyone.
That's how you get kids smoking with candy cigarettes.
Of course.
Yep. So, but the way they phrased it in the press release, it was like, oh, we've been thinking about this for a while, and great for everyone, and you know, we're just had this sudden attack of conscience, and now we're just gonna do it because we're awesome. Give us more of your money so we can make $2 billion.
Oh, ouch, Janus Marine.
Gearbox was settled out of court for a USB stick full of barely legal porn. Wow.
Oh, Pitchford, you dog.
Wow. Wow. Yep. Anyway. And also on Lootbox Corner, we've heard that EA, previously they've been talking about, they were the opinion that, our thing doesn't count. We shouldn't be held to these standards. Our items aren't gambling. You see all the odds printed. We'll be fine. The Belgian Gaming Commission doesn't know anything.
Wait, what did Soulja Boy
say?
Right? It was they don't know shit.
They don't know shit. Yeah, they ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah,
it was the first thing I was thinking in my head. Was
Belgian
like,
ain't gonna do shit.
Does like EA have Soulja Boy as their legal counsel? Soulja Boy, or like
I would not be surprised.
Or like Rudy Giuliani. So yeah. So anyway, after further discussions with the Belgian authorities, they say, we've decided to stop offering FIFA points for sale in Belgium. We're working to make these changes effective in our FIFA console and PC games by January 31st. That means players in Belgium will not be able to purchase points to obtain FIFA Ultimate Team packs. And I believe that's as of now.
Yeah, they better end it ASAP, basically.
Yeah. We seek to bring, and I'm going to try and get through this without laughing, but remember, this is EA. We seek to bring choice, fairness, value, and fun to our players in all our games.
Fuck.
Right? In addition to providing players options in how they play, we include pack probabilities in our games for the transparency players want to make informed content choices. While we are taking this action, we do not agree with Belgian authorities' interpretations of the law, and we will continue to seek more clarity on the matter as we go forward. The impact of this change to FIFA Ultimate Team in Belgium is not material to our financial performance. So regardless of what it is, like literally, they don't give a fuck about people. This is aimed at their investors.
I love the word transparency because that's absolutely what they're doing. They are transparent on what such money grubbing assholes they are.
Very transparent. It is EA after all.
Yeah.
So I mean,
clear as crystal.
Yeah. Well, this is the
hashtag fuck EA.
Come on, they're not that bad, but I mean, they are the ones who pioneered...
to be fair, they're not making pachinko machines yet.
They are the ones that did pioneer Project $5, though, so we can thank for the concept of the online pass. Thank you, John Riccatello. Anyway,
$5 horse armor.
Yeah. No, that's honestly, that was the worst. That was like the original. Remember that the controversy back then?
It was the jumping off point. That's where everything started.
And yet somehow we lost our way. Every day we get further from God's light.
Started with horse armor and went straight downhill.
Which even more hilarious is that later on ESO you could actually buy horse armor.
Oh, of course.
And no one said a goddamn thing.
No, because it's the norm now.
Anyway. Do you remember back when Watch Dogs 2 came out, there was that whole mission about stealing a trailer, and it was like supposed to be a real trailer?
Oh, yes.
You know? And it was like... a whole thing that DedSec, they snuck into Ubisoft's real office in San Francisco.
It was very meta on their part.
Because they're playing, poking fun at like all the leaks about like Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Origins and whatnot at the time. Well, it wouldn't have been Origins back then. I don't remember. I know Syndicate was leaked. There was another one that was leaked. Anyway, so it turns out that there was rumors for the longest time that was supposed to be a real game. We were going to hear more about it. Never did.
Yeah.
And it turns out that game, which was codenamed or overtly titled
Project named.
It was called Pioneer.
Yeah.
And apparently it was a real thing. It was being worked on between 2015 and 2016, or pardon me, 2014 and 2016. and it had kind of a rocky development, and it actually got shelved. It was originally being directed by the director of Assassin's Creed 3,
Okay.
which is Alex Hutchinson. And say what you will about Assassin's Creed 3, I enjoyed it.
It was hit and miss.
It wasn't as bad as I remembered it.
Tried some things in it.
Yeah, the story fell apart at the end for sure, but overall, like the beginning of the game, fucking epic, and then towards the end, it's like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Anyway, so here's the quote. We want it to be as new as possible, new forms of navigation, new ways of gaining objectives, no overt violence. This is someone who had worked on Pioneer. The scale of newness made it very hard to coalesce into a finished game. So this is years before like No Man's Sky and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So it reworked in 2016, roughly around. They saw No Man's Sky, I'm thinking. And shortly, like a couple of weeks ago, Alex Hutchinson actually tweeted out "R.I.P. Pioneer." So it's done now.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't.
It's shelved.
Well, Old Pioneer is dead, said someone who was speaking, talking to Kotaku about this under condition of anonymity. They say Old Pioneer is dead. Pioneer's half undead
praise
brother.
the new Pioneer.
No, Pioneer's half undead brother is here. So it's like they took whatever was left and they're like scraping that they're gonna fetal leavings into a basket,
pull an Overwatch or something like that. Let's just grab those assets and just make something else out of it.
Knit it into a sweater.
Yeah. The kiddies will love that.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the whole Prey 2 situation. It's like, okay, we're gonna just hand it off to someone else.
No, that was a complete shelf. They didn't save anything from that fucking game.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Okay.
Actually, there's an interesting question there.
What's
first,
this?
Before we go into the next article there. Cash Family says, here's a question. Why is the gaming subculture, or why does subculture tolerate such absolute shitty business practices from game developers and publishers? If these companies did this in general public product base, they'd be blasted out of business in 6 months. Stop hyping up and promoting mediocre products from crap companies. And I mean,
it's because of the hype.
It's really hit and miss, because there are certain companies that will either under promote an amazing product. There's companies that will over promote a shit product.
Well, actually, let's table that discussion, because we're coming back to the big ticket. We're going to talk about a lot of this then as well.
Well, that's convenient that that fits into it.
A lot of business related issues and a lot of we'll say money grubbing.
Okay.
While we're talking about EA.
So you go, Cash Family.
Yeah. But we're coming back to that.
Throw that message back in when we do the big ticket at the end of the show.
Yeah. We're gonna go over a bunch of stuff related to some GDC responses.
Yeah, because that's a great question.
Yep. Yeah, and we're gonna come back. Remind me to talk about the Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, don't get them riled up on that.
Yeah, it was the Modern Warfare 2. No, what the fuck was it? They said boycott. Yeah. Anyway, Resident Evil. So Resident Evil lives, dies, lives again. It's coming back.
It is a zombie game.
It's coming back again.
Okay.
It is coming back as a TV series.
Oh, yes. I
Coming
got
back
a quick
as a
snippet of that.
TV series on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be the same production and distribution company that did the movies. I don't think that, what's his name? Anderson. Paul Anderson.
Paul Anderson, yeah.
I don't think he's attached to it. They're still looking for a showrunner, but it's going to basically be like the original movie. They're going to go back to the original Resident Evil storyline.
Okay.
It won't follow it exactly, but it's going to use it as like the basis of a brand new series.
Okay, so are they going to intertwine new characters into the classic Resident Evil storyline then, or are they just going to fist fuck the storyline like the movies did?
No. I'm expecting it, like, if you think about like what how to explain, like what like 12 Monkeys did for the movie, basically.
Okay.
Like it's the same basic plot line, but they expand it outward and they keep developing it.
Right.
The information that was in Deadline, which is like that Hollywood variety kind of thing. Plan is for the series to expand the Resident Evil universe and deepen the existing mythology. The writer was saying they hear the series will keep the basic premise, which also served as a setup for the movie franchise. The drama series will explore the dark inner workings of the Umbrella Corporation and the new world order caused by the outbreak of the T-virus, while the project is in early stages. The series is expected to incorporate all of Resident Evil's signature elements, including action sequences and Easter eggs. So if we have a dog jumping through the window the 4th time they go down the hallway, I'm sold.
Or if somebody mentions the Master of Unlocking or Jill sandwiches.
Jesus Christ. If they make one Master of Unlocking joke,
they will. I guarantee they will. That's everyone's favorite. Outside of Jill sandwich, it's everyone's favorite fucking line.
Someone's going in there with a bobby pin. I was like, yeah, you all right there? Yeah. Oh, way to go, Master of Unlocking.
Yeah, it'll be something coy like that.
That'll be hilarious.
But yeah, I'm mostly excited for that because, again, we've kind of talked about this before, but Netflix is willing to take chances. And that's why a lot of their content is very hit and miss, because they're willing to go out there and try something different. Yeah. With Resident Evil, it's a very, very beloved license. Tens of thousands of fans of like even the movies, if not like everything else. I'm cautiously optimistic for this because I'm not a big horror fan, but I love the Resident Evil series because it does blend that horror with action, and I always love a really cheesy fucking storyline.
Well, I'm hoping this is kind of in line with what Capcom is doing currently with the new Resident Evil remakes. It is a remaster, but it's done in such a way that it's almost a representation of the original content in a more, I won't say legitimate, but a more because they've polished form.
They've polished up and built all the canon around all of these broken games with changing and remastering stuff. So now it's like go through and now you have everything in chronological perfect order. But they make a show out of that.
But they've made it less outlandish. I'll say, like, it's presented in a much more, I won't say realistic because they're still zombies. Yeah. But you know what I mean. It just seems
it's grounded.
There's more internal consistency.
Yeah.
And apparently I haven't yet seen any footage of what the giant alligator looks like. If it's still there. I'm assuming it's still there to some extent, but
I mean, I would hope it is.
But even the tyrant looks like significantly different.
The main takeaway from this is that if it was any way to present Resident Evil, this is the way to do it, because you can spread that story out. Right. You can have multiple characters. Everything has time to breathe and make more sense. Whereas when you have a movie, it's like, you have 2 hours. Go. Yeah. Try to cram all that fucking story right in there.
Well, to be fair, I think they got about as much story out of the original Resident Evil as they needed to. So.
But I mean, like, there's just, they can do more character studies. They can have more character-driven stuff. They can have more fun with it now. They have that breathing room to do that if you have a 12 or 13 episode run rather than a 2-hour movie.
At no time should there be 48 dead Mia Jovoviches in a ditch.
Well, exactly. Yeah, Ruru 2 brings that up. A new cast, of course, where we're not talking Mia Jovovich and the rest of them. Michelle Rodriguez. And
preferably people who are better than their voice actors.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. Yep. I really hope it turns out.
Yeah, so no idea when that's coming out. They're still in pre-production, I think. This is a brand new deal that they just struck. So last week we talked about the rumors of a brand new Dragon Ball Z RPG, an action RPG. And just this past weekend, I think it was Sunday, Bandai Namco dropped the bomb. And they said, yep, it exists, it's coming, showed us a bunch of in-game video, and it's like it looked even better than Xenoverse to my mind.
Absolutely, because again, Xenoverse was based on a scrapped MMO set of assets. Yeah. So they looked good, but they weren't stellar.
They were still pretty fantastic.
This trailer, though, I mean, outside of not showing any gameplay, it also wasn't just an...
Hang on. You said it was based on a scrapped MMO assets? I think that's an apocryphal story. I don't believe that.
No, it was literally
Xenoverse. Have to do some research on that.
No, I've already done the research because I wanted to know where it came from.
Okay.
The Xenoverse series of games were based on a scrapped Chinese Dragon Ball Z MMO. And they said, well, the game is never going to come out, but we have this entire world of assets. They were like, well, let's make a fucking game out of it. So they made Xenoverse because they had assets for all the different universes and the character creator and
it's ironic
the big maps and everything.
The whole time travel plot line I thought was such a brilliant idea to bring in your character and sort of give a new spin on the existing classic areas.
That's what Dragon Ball Super is. The newer anime that's been out for the past 4 years or whatever.
What?
Dragon Ball Super.
Yes.
That's the entire universe idea with time traveling stuff. That's the entire arc of that. You just said you liked that idea.
I liked it in the game when I thought it was an original idea, not when it was just another...
Well, they were hand in hand. I mean, the game and the anime. So, But either way, that's where that came from.
Terrible.
So now the fact that they're building this RPG,
Boo!
I would hope brand new, anyways.
Cash value says Leo Alice Zombie Pass.
Anyways, glossing over that.
No punning. I need another drink.
From what we've seen, even though there isn't any actual gameplay shown yet, everything that they have, the models, the different environments that they've shown and everything like that, and just some of the action they've shown looks very, very promising. Like, it looks like it's up to par with like Dragon Ball Fighter Z almost. Like, it's these beautifully detailed, almost looks like animated cells, but it's definitely a 3D character. But we're getting what is told to us is an RPG Dragon Ball Z game. So,
and from the look of the video, it looks like it's going to follow Goku's story throughout the whole Saiyan arc.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks really interesting. I want to know what the RPG element is. Like, how is the combat going to work, and how are the chapters going to work?
It's going to be an action RPG, so I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of like fighting game that's driven by stats that, I don't know. But all of the fighting we saw looked like it was as bombastic as any of the Dragon Ball Z games we've ever seen.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
I am super excited for that. Although I am going to have a lot of difficulty playing the game without in the back of my mind thinking just Dragon Ball Z abridged like all the time. I've seen so much more of that lately.
It's come to pass that they have fucking Easter eggs in the Xenoverse games. They actually got the guy to do a set of voices because you create a character. So they actually got the guy that does Nappa's voice to do a set of voices for the male character, which was just fucking spectacular. I'm glad that they acknowledged that team because they're amazing. Yeah,
but they showed the fight with Piccolo at the beginning. They showed some of the fight with Nappa and Vegeta. They even had a brief sequence with the training sequence with him and King Kai.
Yeah, exactly. So I want it to go deeper into the ethos. I want to learn more. I want to have more side quests because, again, I love Dragon Ball Z. I love the Dragon Ball universe. I love the characters. But playing the fighting games ever since, basically PS2 and onward, all the Budokai and Tenkaichi series and all the Xenoverse and everything like that, I have fought the same character so many times and heard them say the same lines so many times and gone through the same story arc so many times. I don't mind those story arcs, but give me something in between, especially if it's going to be an RPG world. Fill out that world. Let me do some extra stuff.
Watch the birdie.
I want to go do side quests. I want to talk to more characters. I want more out of that game because they can slow the pace down and really expand it outward.
Shut up, Nappa. All right. Last week, Nintendo released a stilted video of Shinya Takahashi, General Manager of Entertainment Planning and Development Division of Nintendo.
Oh, and Gagawash, yes, I agree. That would have been interesting, but again, the fan base isn't there as much, unfortunately. Dragon Ball, the original one, is great, but it doesn't have the same fan base that Z does. Anyways.
Takahashi-san.
Okay, carry on.
Shinya Takahashi, General Manager of Entertainment Planning and Development Division of Nintendo, released this video last week talking about the current status of development on, unfortunately, Metroid Prime 4.
Yes.
And I think we had heard all kinds of weird rumors about its development, like it was being done by like some offshoot of Ninja Studios and crap.
Yep.
One thing we
started
didn't know,
really scaring people.
Right. And the one thing we did know that it wasn't being run by Retro. I think they were attached to some kind of Star Fox adventure game. Like, didn't they learn their lesson the first time?
I mean, if you
it was a Star Fox racing game.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
If you get the right developer, I mean, that could be a fun little title. But it's not a Metroid Prime title. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been announced. It was announced like at E3 in 2016. No one's seen anything about it. No one said anything about it.
Yep.
And they came out and said, yeah, so the game's not up to par. So what we're going to do is we're going to scrap it.
Yep.
The current director is going to work with Retro Studios. The guys did the original ones.
Of course.
The only problem is I'm kind of given pause. The way it was phrased, they are collaborating and developing with Retro Studios. So I don't know if they're trying to salvage what they got, and they had Retro come in and go.
Did it say Ninja's collaborating with, or
No,
did
no.
they say we're collaborating?
No one ever. That's never been confirmed.
Okay.
So it's an internal development team as far as anyone's ever said.
Because if Nintendo is collaborating with Retro,
Yes.
I have no problem with that. Because
prefer-
Nintendo loves their own license,
Yeah.
and Retro are the guys that knocked it out of the park with the Prime series.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just prefer that they hand it all over to Retro and say, throw it all away, start again. You guys know what you're doing. Go.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm good either way, because again, Nintendo, like, if it was the first one out, yeah, Nintendo may have a lot of different thoughts on like what make the game good or different or whatever. The fact that Retro has killed it for the first 3 games,
Yeah.
I think even though Nintendo's collaborating with them, I think they're gonna let Retro really do their thing, because they
hope
know
so.
that A, Retro can do this, and B, they're gonna sell billions of copies of
Yeah,
it
well,
anyways.
I mean, that's the problem, though. There has not been a good Metroid game since essentially Prime, arguably some of the ones on the Game Boy Advanced.
yeah,
Although, to be fair, the remake of Metroid 2...
Samus Returns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the original one, so I don't like the concept of what they've changed in the new one, but to see it look like that is kind of
What,
neat.
you gotta play it though.
No. Like this whole thing, like there's like melee counters and a bunch of other shit that was not necessary. Anyway, I don't want to go into that. Long story short, anyway, they said this like 2 days ago. So if you were expecting to see Metroid 4, coming 3,
See, and that's like, that's what I said when they showed that fucking teaser. Like, the 4 came up and everyone lost their fucking minds, because I don't know. Look I love Metroid. Metroid Prime games were great.
Yep.
But
They were great.
It's one of those things that like this is another one of those fucking rabid fandoms.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden 4 is just, and then they lit that fire, and now they're gonna have a hell of a time kind of putting it out. I literally think it would have been better
Yeah.
if they saw that there was trouble already back when they showed that teaser. They shouldn't have showed the fucking teaser and gotten people excited, because honestly, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, well, that's at least 3 or 4 years out if they don't have anything to show other than a 4.
Yeah, well, it's going to be at least 2 years out by now, probably more. But think about it
easily. Yeah,
Think about this though.
They scrapped the entire thing.
Right. They let Other M go to the fucking publishers. How shitty was this game?
I feel like, yeah, it just wasn't up to par. I knew, like, they've obviously would have learned their lesson from Other M, and I think the couple years into it, or
Maybe.
however much they were into it, they realized that even though they might have been going for what Retro used to do, like the first person, whatever, Prime, they probably just said, no, you guys aren't cutting it. See you later.
What was that other one? Federation Force something?
Oh, that doesn't count. That's a completely different side story Game Boy thing. It's a fun little, like, distraction, but it's not a proper Metroid title.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's like a kart racer.
So anyway, massive delay, 2-3 years.
Yeah, and again, it's like I didn't get my hopes up for it because I knew A, it was going to be years out, and B, this type of thing could have happened anyways.
I still have to get around to playing the third one. I have it for the Wii. Like, that was basically the only reason I got a Wii.
Yeah, I think they
sure wasn't for the Dead Rising Wii version.
Is it the Wii or the Wii U? They ended up selling like all 3 of them on the same disc. Like they had the collection or whatever.
It was for the Wii U, but they changed some things in that. It didn't look as good, honestly. There was some, like, a bunch of effects. If you go back and look years ago when it came out for the Wii U, there's a bunch of effects that didn't look as good on the Wii U as they did on the original GameCube versions. I don't know.
They did it to get the frame rate going or something like that.
I think it was like they fit all 3 of them on a single disc. So it was probably like space issues. They cut down some textures. I don't know what. If you go and you Google that, you'll be able to find that pretty easily.
But yeah, Gogosh, I guess just going back to the quickly, transparency in his announcements is what everyone needs to do with announcements like this.
Yeah.
That, and that's fair. Like if a game dev fucked up,
right?
Announce it. Let people know. Don't keep people trailing on for year after year and get all these rumors going and keep showing like half finished. Would you fucking shut up? I'm just trying to make a point. Stop showing half finished stuff. Or, bullshit cutscenes that are remixed and everything like that. If you fucked up and you have to start from square one, or you start with the bare bones again, fucking do that. Tell people, and then they're like, oh, okay, cool, we'll move on to this thing.
I'm literally supporting your point though with Final Fantasy 15. Like, right from the beginning, the development on that was troubled. They tried to hack out a bunch of the plot. They still tried to make it work. The game shipped in a terrible state. It was buggy. It was broken. Had missing plot pieces, and huge DLC issues. Everything about that game should have been a object lesson for Square Enix.
An example of what not to do.
Yes, exactly. And yet, because it was a Final Fantasy game, everyone went out and bought it, not having learned their lesson after 13.
Yeah, it didn't get the praise that other ones did, so at least you can take that home.
Yeah. Which is ironic, because it was better than 13.
Yeah, but in your mind, everything's better than 13.
Well, it was a low bar. It was a very low bar. Okay, so GameStop. While we're talking about whipping boys, GameStop, a couple weeks back, we talked about how GameStop, they're shopping themselves around, trying to find a buyer. They're going to sell GameStop. Turns out,
around in the raggedy clothes, hey, please help us.
Yeah. So, shockingly enough, turns out nobody wants GameStop.
Go figure.
Yep. So,
this is actually Meme Kill had mentioned this in a tweet or something like that. It's just like, yeah, they didn't want to sell because the people were only offering $17 for a used game store.
So here's the thing: when they announced, here's the big irony. They announced that they were no longer trying to find a seller.
Yep.
Because they announced they were abandoning their attempts to sell the company, it caused their stock to plunge 2.7%. Causing the loss of over $430 million in market capitalization.
That's going to help them out.
Yeah, the stock hit a 52-week low. Yeah.
Not surprised.
Shockingly enough, it's still hard for them to attract a permanent CEO to take over that position in the failing company.
Come on, this sinking ship. There's not that much water in here.
Just get Don Matrick in there to carve that bitch up.
Oh, my God.
He's not ashamed.
Shit show.
He's not ashamed to go down with the ship.
Apparently not.
No, he's good at it too. So yeah, this is GameStop's life now. I mean, the whole circle of life thing. I think it's all come around full circle.
Yep, that's the circle of life. They're eating their own asshole.
The world's worst human centipede.
Oh, well, we'll just sit back here and watch the fire grow.
Yep.
Because it's funny.
Yeah. Fuck GameStop. Agreed. So to celebrate this new and interesting turn of their life, they're celebrating by calling people and canceling their Kingdom Hearts pre-bookings on their ultra limited edition PlayStation 4s.
You better believe there's people very happy about that, huh?
Oh, I can bet. Especially since they've been offering such great trade values for people's systems. They can trade it towards your new system.
Yeah.
You're going to get one in a couple of weeks. Go ahead and trade your system. Oh, wait, we don't have your system. I'm sorry.
What's that? You go a week later. Oh, that's a used copy of Kingdom Hearts 3? Best I can do is a slap in the face. If you bring 5 other games, we'll kick you in the ass. Does that help?
Well, it's exactly what it is, right? We'll turn around and we'll put a sticker on it, and now it's $75. But no, just the fact it's because they oversold them. They could not get enough to cover their pre-bookings, and now they're just randomly going out and canceling people.
Yep.
Can you imagine, our good friend Captain Quench, what kind of shit he would throw if they canceled his Kingdom Hearts 2 limited edition?
I think he'd be in cuffs by now, honestly.
Yeah. I could tell you they'd be looking for a new temporary CEO replacement as well. There would be a bloodbath in that.
You want to talk about transparency, about being a shitty company.
Yikes.
GameStop is right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could say, it's a high allocation thing because supplies weren't up to par, but they should have known that. They shouldn't have tried to pre-book.
It's shit business practices. That's like, hey, over here, give us all your money. Don't worry, we got plenty of systems for everyone. Oh, fuck, really?
Right.
Okay, well, I'll just cancel these ones. No one will mind.
But don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, yes. Here's the kicker.
They're offering them a nice $25 gift certificate for their trouble.
Yeah, and a crisp high five, right?
Yep. And on their customer service line, they're saying they're not going to get any more for Sony. That's it.
Yep.
So, sorry, but here's your $25.
Too fucking bad.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. This whole thing is sometimes when you do pre-sales and stuff like that and you overbook a little, it's because like, oh, maybe, if people cancel, it'll fill in the blanks and stuff like that. This is one of those systems. No one is going to fucking cancel this. If they canceled, it's because they, their second mortgage on their house didn't go through or something. Because people are dying to get this fucking system in limited quantities. Like, this is the type of thing that people have their system in hand now. I guarantee if I go to eBay right now, I'm going to see one on there for $3,000 or something like that.
Even if you didn't want it, why wouldn't you just buy it and resell it on eBay?
That's what a lot of people are doing, too, because it's like, oh, hey, there's a shitty website over here that let me buy as many as I want. I bought 20 of them.
Yep.
And then those assholes are going to turn around and sell it.
From all of us here at Digital Fiasco, fuck you to death, GameStop.
Yeah. Hashtag fuck GameStop.
Yep. I mean, they're no Konami, but they're still pretty shitty.
Because GameStop doesn't make pachinko machines
That's right.
out of beloved licenses.
They also don't make living death corpses out of beloved franchises. Unless, I guess technically speaking, they might have resold a copy of Metal Gear Survive used, thus denying Konami that revenue. So in reality, they, through their own business practices, are way better than Konami.
Okay, here we go. Just, a morbid curiosity. Just went onto eBay.
Yes.
Taking a look at the Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I'm afraid you
Custom Pros. Let's see. What do we got
It's
here?
over $1,000.
This is in Canadian dollars. Okay?
Canadian dollars. Okay, let's do the prices right. Closest without going over.
Okay, go for it.
Without going over, $1,250.
Oh. Okay. It ranges a little. You went under some of them, over some of them.
Oh, okay.
So
well, what's the highest one?
The very first listing that I see on here is $1,000 Canadian, and that's
minimum.
Bids though. That's bids, so that's not a buy it now.
We're gonna have to look at closings.
There's one that's $1,400 or best offer.
Yeah.
$1,591 or best offer.
I was figuring a minimum of $1,000.
Like easily, yeah. Every single thing is hovering around like $950 to $1,000, if not more. So, and those are bids. So, yeah, people are losing their shit over these things.
Ridiculous.
And unfortunately, there's those people who are like, I've got some money to invest. I'm going to buy 20 of these and walk out a fucking millionaire at the end of it. Because people are gonna pay like $3,000 for one of these fucking things.
Yep.
Yep.
So let's talk about something that's
not enraging. Sure.
No, something not enraging. Something that, if anything, is just confusing.
Okay.
There is a brand new esport coming.
Oh God.
From Swiss game studio Giant Software.
Yep.
You know what it is?
Unless something else,
they've just announced,
pun intended, cropped up overnight.
Yeah. They're creating an esports league centered around their highly popular annual franchise, Farming Simulator.
Yep, there you have it, folks. Esports has officially made it because we have Farming Simulator Esports.
The winners can win €250,000.
Yeah, and you know what? I fucking love it. I love that this is actually a thing.
I mean,
we've come to the point where Farming Simulator went from video game to meme to professional esport with a giant grand prize.
Okay, I can understand an esport where the thing that it's emulating is a competitive event. Like, is it still an esport when the real life action is not a sport?
Still technically competitive.
It's like competitive house painting. Like, how do you measure success in that?
I know it's the same people that soup up a lawnmower and go racing with it.
Well,
like
that'd be different if it was just racing. That's one thing that you can.
Well, isn't that? I figured that's what the esports about. Is it like you race to plow your field faster or something? Like, I don't know exactly what the sport is.
It is built around this. Okay, this is just fucking ridiculous, and it gets more and more ridiculous every time I read a word in this sentence. It's built around teams of 3, and will challenge them with competing across a number of different farming-based tasks.
Okay.
The inaugural season of the league will focus on 10 separate tournaments, each hosted in Europe at events like Gamescom and Paris Games Week, with a point system to determine which teams will make it to the championship tournament in, I shit you not, FarmCon 2020.
There you go.
How are there enough people buying these games that they have their own fucking convention?
I mean, now, is FarmCon based around Farming Simulator, or is it like a farming convention?
I strongly doubt they would have a game thing at a farming convention.
You have to think about it this way, too, is that there are like older people out there that could be farmers that actually play this game.
But the Venn
they farm
diagram.
during the day and then they play the video game during the night.
Yeah, the Venn diagram, though, people who are farmers or who like farming games, and then people who have any kind of grasp of technology, that's a fucking narrow target audience.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. Again, it's one of those things that, like, I can't even be mad. This is actually thoroughly entertaining that actually exists.
I'm not mad. I'm just confused because...
I'm not even mad. I'm actually impressed.
Farming Simulator 19, which comes out whatever this year, it has a brand new 3 versus 3 mode for competitive play.
Sure. Hey, everyone has their niche that they like. Some people really... Like, okay, look at it this way. How long have we been seeing simulator games on that PC gaming wall at like a GameStop or a local game store and stuff like that?
Yeah, Farming Simulator like till like 2005, I think. I don't even know.
Before that, I mean, we're talking like 2000 basically. Like simulator games, even though they're not the thing in North America for the most part, obviously they have a fandom somewhere. I'm guessing it's in Europe somewhere.
It's kind of ironic though that all of these games are trading on the same font that Microsoft chose, because the title is so simple, you know, they can't trademark that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oops, Microsoft. Oh well. Just shows you these guys love to go against the grain.
Ha! Da-da-da-da-da-da. There, we both got our puns out. So. So again, that's actually entertaining. I want to see what comes of it. Because I guarantee it's not going to be a serious affair. It's probably going to be entertaining to watch because they're going to be having so much like stupid fun with it.
We had some Microsoft news, but it's basically like our E3 is going to be great and who cares?
Their E3? What do you mean? Like
in 2019, they're talking about, oh, it's going to be great. We're going to have a bunch of stuff and blah. And...
Oh, like they're not saying we're going to break off and do our own thing?
Well, no, it's because Sony's like out. They don't care. They're just going to put on a big bombastic show and try to make people forget that Sony's still a thing.
I just figured that they would have done the same thing, and then all eyes would have been on them whenever they decided to do it.
They're probably going to bring out their new Fable, like Playground Games is running it.
2021 sheep simulator.
Simulator.
Now in VR.
Must be the DLC for Goat Simulator. All right, so we got some quick hits and some good stuff.
Hey.
I don't give a shit about Anthem. Anthem's weekend. They didn't have a great
there you go.
VIP
I don't give a
demo.
shit about Anthem. Jack McBastard 2019.
That's fair. I'm not going to be the one doing the review, obviously, but they had their second VIP beta on the weekend, and it was
caught fire.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
I heard it was unstable as fuck.
You know, they don't even have a social hub. They don't have like a tower like in Destiny.
Really?
Yeah, they have nothing like that.
I thought that was like the key point of a lot of those games was like, hey, here's
hadn't
this
even occurred to them.
Centerpiece where everyone can hang out and stuff.
Nope. Skip that. No one cares about PS Now in Portugal, Denmark, Norway. SteamWorld Quest. There's a brand new SteamWorld game coming out called Hand of Gilgamesh, which is kind of a
is that like
clever name.
Like SteamWorld Dig?
It's like SteamWorld Dig. It's like SteamWorld Heist.
Oh, okay.
SteamWorld Quest is a new one. Hand of Gilgamesh was revealed in an indie game showcase this week. It's coming out first for Nintendo Switch. It's going to be it's a timed exclusive. It'll be out later this year. SteamWorld Quest is said to have a deck of 100 punch cards to help players get through the turn-based combat of their adventure. Here's the marketing speak. Luscious treasure chest filled with gold dragons, vivid worlds, magic knights, and shining armor, as well as XP, turn-based battles, and all that good RPG stuff. So
there you go.
It's interesting.
Is quite excited for that one. So.
SteamWorld's a great series. Like SteamWorld Heist was fantastic, and SteamWorld Dig, like I loved.
Are they all turn-based games, or are they different genres in the same world?
No, SteamWorld Dig was like a platformer, right?
Okay,
and it was kind of a. I don't know how you describe it.
It's honestly, it's one of those titles I see all the time. It's bright and colorful and kind of in your face. And
it was a lot of fun.
It looks interesting, but I don't get the vibe of what the game really is from it.
The general is a general platformer game. You're going into like the mines to harvest a bunch of shit, and you try to get back to town before you die. You buy upgrades, so you go further and further in.
Oh, okay. So it's one of those types.
Yeah,
of things.
it's a roguelike roguelite, I think.
Roguelite, because you upgrade permanently as you move along.
Yes. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and the one after that was like a completely different game, and it was like even more fun. It was like it doesn't matter. I couldn't explain it. Point being, Gagalush is correct. It was a great series.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm really glad to see that. I'm not gonna buy it on the Switch just because I don't need to be gaming everywhere I go.
That's okay. You never leave your house anyways.
Go fuck yourself. All right, so the big ticket. And it's labeled, kind of ironically, it was labeled as the State of the Union. Today was supposed to be the State of the Union. The State's going to be next week. But it's the State of the Union because there was a survey that was sent out to all the Game Developer Conference members talking about all the problems with the industry and whatnot. One of the big things that's been bandied about for a long time, whether or not game developers and people who work on games need to unionize.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and there was a big feature on this in Kotaku this week. And I mean, it's the same problems we see year after year after year, and it's just getting worse, right? Crunch is out of control. You see people with 100-hour work weeks. Remember that EA wife that... it was like the anonymized blog from ages ago. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember the name of it specifically, but I think it was like eawife.com or something.
If you type that, I'm sure it'll come up in Google.
Layoffs without warning or severance. Like, typically you get to the end of the project. It's like, go find another fucking job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they wanted to talk about like portable health insurance, like it goes with you rather than with your job. And
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I would say that is item number 1. Absolutely.
Right behind that, the thing you always bring up is the CEO's salaries and whatnot.
Yeah, because it's disgusting that they launch a game, whether it's good or bad, even if it gets mediocre sales. Hey, big CEO guy, here's your $10 million bonus because you shipped the game relatively on time. Oh, yeah, and your 200 employees, they can fuck off.
Well, Activision Blizzard, right? You get Bobby Kotick. In 2017, his bonus was $28 million.
Oh, perfect. And then they probably laid off 2,000 employees that year, too.
I mean, Activision's not as widely known for that, but still, apparently that was 300 times the median salary for an Activision employee at $93,660.
Yep.
The year before, he got $33 million.
Disgusting. It really is.
Yep.
On top of his salary, who the fuck needs that?
I'd like it.
No, that's the thing. If I ran a fucking company, hey, I shipped my game on time. Good job, me. Fucking give yourself $1 million bonus. That leaves $32 million that you can invest back into your company. What the fuck is wrong with some people? I don't get it.
I don't know.
We have to lay off all these people, and our company's barely surviving. We're gonna go bankrupt. Oh, thank God I got that $30 million bonus for shipping one game.
Makes me feel better.
Fuck off. God, that makes me mad.
I wonder, I'd really like to know if there was a similar situation in Squaresoft where they're talking about, Sleeping Dogs didn't ship enough. Tomb Raider didn't meet its targets. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided didn't meet its targets.
I guarantee that CEO sleeping in a gold fucking bed on his gold yacht in the fucking gold ocean.
If he has a gold yacht, I think that Darwin's going to take care of himself.
It's in a gold ocean, though, so it's okay.
That's probably not better, I guess. You're boiling molten metal all around you. Gold would just liquefy under you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Sounds like
is there any other point there, or we can talk about the unionization?
There's a bunch of stuff. Like, some of the responses, like, they actually have literal responses. It was an anonymous survey for GDC members. Just random things they said, like, there's too much supply, too many people want into the industry. This all the things they say they'd like to unionize, but they actually say, only 21% of developers say they think games workers will unionize, and 24% will say outright it just won't happen because there's just too many people who want in. Like, years ago, there's a big glut. People want to go into the tech industry, they want to go into programming, they want to make games, and now they have scut workers everywhere that they can just, you might be valuable, but you're not irreplaceable. So. Yeah. No, what was it? There was like a demotivational post. It was like, just because you're important. No, just because you're valuable doesn't mean you're important. That's what it was.
And that rings true in a lot of places.
Those who unionize will be shoved out of the way as the companies hire those with fewer demands, which is, until they have a union, that's going to be a constant concern for them. So it's going to be a rough road, but it's like
you know what?
It's just going to continue to be exploited.
Devs can fucking plug their ears and scream until they're blue in the face. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hollywood unionized. Video games are going to unionize one way or another. It's going to fucking happen because they can't keep like destroying employees just to make their profit. It's not it. I know. Again, like there's always going to be the fucking tiny ass people like, oh, I'll work for scraps. I don't care. I want in. But the problem is you are going to burn through so many of those fucking people and be such a shit company for it. Any dev, like almost any dev will do that. That it's going to happen. Like they will unionize one way or another. It's going to fucking happen.
Either that or they'll just all go work for Joseph Gordon-Levitt's company to make assets for Beyond Good and Evil 2 for free.
What it comes down to is, again, a lot of a lot of unions get a bad rap because there are some shit unions out there, but there are some very good unions out there. With video games, everyone, again says, "Oh, it's terrible. It'll ruin the fucking industry and everything like that." It's like, well, no, get reasonable unionization. Don't just like it's like, yeah, go ahead unionize, and then all of a sudden like, yep, everyone that comes in, they get fucking $100,000 a year, they get all these benefits and blah blah blah. No, make it a reasonable unionization. Make it reasonable to turn a profit, but also care for a human being that is making you your profit.
Well, I mean, unionization is a necessary thing in a lot of these industries, especially like in the entertainment industry where all the profit rises to the top. Right?
Absolutely.
This is why you have like the
$33 million to one guy.
This is why you have like the SAG-AFTRA strike, why you have like the DGA strike a few years ago, the Writers Guild, right? Like all of these, it's all to protect them. Otherwise, like the Hollywood studios, like as it is, they still victimize like contractors. They go out of business, they start a new company, make a movie, and fold that company right away so they can go bankrupt and shuck off all their bills.
Yeah, and Cash Money says, rip the Band-Aid off, just do it en masse, like get it done. Just get it done, out of the way. And then just deal with the fire afterwards.
No, I mean, that's just the thing. There's going to be a period where they will try to unionize, and then there will be all of these, for lack of a better term, scab workers.
Yeah, it's not going to be a clean transition.
No.
It's I'm sure, I don't know the history of the Hollywood unionization, but I guarantee that didn't happen overnight. So, yeah.
Why can't the Writers Guild go to video gaming developers? I guess it's a lot more difficult to quantify. Because, like, you can technically have a guy write the same code, or not the same code. He write a bunch of code, get to the same result, have it operate in the same way through a completely different way. So it's like efficiency, maybe a little bit of ease of use. Like, that's really hard to, like, quantify that versus you can't have another director like Coppola or Steven Spielberg.
Well, that's the thing, is it comes down to a lot of time when you get into the video game industry, a lot of it is in your resume. Not so much the typed part of it, but the visual representation. If you code something, code the ever-loving fuck out of it so it runs buttery smooth and you can show that off and whatnot.
So they can fire you and
be like, hey, look, I made this thing and it only took this much code, like that type of thing. Like, you need to show off that you're better than, other dude.
Yeah, but depending on the way a organization is set up, doesn't matter how good your performance is. If they are set up in such a way that they do a particular project, then they lay everyone off and they rehire people over and over again, and they just like do a constant turnover like that where people are shuffled from studio to studio. They lose their benefits, they lose their health care. Like, that's a terrible way to live hand to mouth like that.
Absolutely, especially after pouring in tens of thousands of dollars in education, hundreds of, or like just thousands and thousands of hours of work.
Right.
A lot of it, they fucking gyp you on your overtime pay.
That's offensive to gypsies.
Whatever. And yeah, it's terrible. Like some of the horror stories that come out of some of these people that work in the industry. And what it comes down to is they more or less do it because they love making video games. And it's really sad that, again, these multi-billion-dollar companies take advantage of these people that are doing what they love.
They have enforced crunch, and if you decide, I don't want to work 100 hours, 120 hours a week,
they're like, all right, see ya.
Like they can't. they technically can't fire you for that, but they can make it like there's a lot of things they can do. Like there's a spectrum of things.
Yeah,
they're gonna make your life miserable.
They will poke you in the eye until you decide to leave of your own volition.
But yeah, you're not expected. You're expected to work 120 hours a week, but they would never put it on paper that you're expected.
No, of course not, because they could probably get sued for that or whatever.
Right. But yeah, it's like people have to stick to your boycotts, like the Modern Warfare 2 boycott I was talking about before. You had that old meme like, oh, all these people, the Modern Warfare 2 boycott, and the second image is like all their Steam people in this Modern Warfare 2 group, and it's like all of them are playing Modern Warfare 2. It's like if you just turn around, like fans, especially video game fans, they can't not play the next game in a series. Like if Base Wars 2 or Suikoden 6,
whichever, the next one,
I think it's 6. Anyway, came out, I would be forced to give Konami money, and I would feel dirty as fuck. I would probably wait till it came down as much as possible.
Buy it used, and you don't get any of it.
Yeah, if I can, I'd buy it used. But
so good, 9,000.
9,000, yeah. It's over 9,000.
Close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I would no. See, going to GameStop is like, wow.
No, then you're double dipping and you're giving money to Konami and GameStop.
I at least buy it off eBay or something stupid. Like I'm not gonna buy it from fucking GameStop. Fuck those people. Anyway, but yeah, like it's tough to just shut down your desire, especially for a franchise game where you like the whole series, and then suddenly something comes up and you find out Kevin Spacey's a pedophile and you can't watch that series anymore, whatever the equivalent is in games, right?
Yeah.
Like Metal Gear.
Well, and again, it comes down to the whole thing of like, well, vote with your wallet. Yeah, but that's the thing is you can't vote with your wallet on an entire entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, if Hollywood made a shitty movie, just don't go see movies. Well, that doesn't fucking work that way. Yeah. It's like games. It's like, oh, if you don't like how they treat their employees, don't buy games. It's like, how can I not buy games? That is my entertainment.
Alibaba get it new and black market. Wow.
And I'm sure it'll be a great copy of it too.
Yep.
With official coverage.
Benito.
Hey, Benito. Welcome to
my favorite tiny dictator. I would love to see what Benito Boomcrash needs to do for next Halloween. He needs to dress up as the Tropico guy.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be amazing. The full fucking military garb with the big epaulets with the fringe, big
grow a sweet beard.
Oh my God, the big cigar
beard.
And one of those dictator hats. That'd be amazing. I'd be so jealous of his rugged, manly beard. I tell you, good to see you, Benito. All right, you know what time it is?
Yeah, let's do it.
Time to press select on the options menu. We do a rotating series of topics every week. This week, we are going to do something brand new on the options menu.
It's not brand new. We've done it once.
Well, we're going to give it an official name. It's called the Pick of the Fiasco.
Pick of the Fiasco.
Pick of the Fiasco.
You have to say it that way?
Hoity-toity-toy. Oh, it's top of the morning. Peak of the market.
You're not allowed to say that. That's Jacksepticeye's thing.
Sasha O'Baron, witches.
Top of the morning to you.
It's like Ireland had it first.
Yeah, well, his 30 million fans now will,
Well, they can fucking sue me. They can come down here and we'll do an Irish jig.
And Tron's offended too.
Hoity-toity-toy.
So you can't do that.
Oh, well, I can't offend Tron.
Can you offend Tron?
I mean, really?
I don't think so.
Well, actually, no, I'm not sure if that's possible.
He feels attacked.
I wouldn't have any problem doing it. I'm saying I'm not sure it's possible. All right, so our Pick of the Fiasco, we're going to give our recommendations in our either old game, new game, something, TV show, flavor of
it's just
lipstick,
whatever we think is cool at the moment. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Something with llamas and soup.
Sure. It's a documentary about llamas and soup.
You'd be amazed how difficult it is to get soup llamas these days.
Are they X-ray soup llamas? Do you know what kind of soup you're getting inside?
Do you have any idea how long it takes to train a soup llama? Like, it's ridiculous. You have to order them special. Anyway, so what is your pick for this week, Dandr0id?
My pick is one that goes actually a little bit back, but it's something that anyone that is a fan of the series needs to go check out. So this one strays a little bit away from gaming, but it does talk about some games within the documentary. This is a documentary about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my God.
And it is called Turtle Power. And
okay.
it is a spectacular, like, catch-all for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the very inception of them,
so like
up to 2016, I believe.
Oh, I'm only going to be partially interested in this. Okay.
Why? What else did you want?
I want the original Eastman and Laird, the black and white Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. Those were great.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking like it goes from the very beginning of history of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles up till 2016, I believe.
Yeah, which is, I'm assuming, talking about the new movies, which are not great.
I can't remember if they actually mentioned that one in there or not.
I really hope not.
They definitely talked about all the cartoons up to most recent of the Nickelodeon one.
We had like an
CG
hour-long argument about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last
time. But
time.
again, it's not the documentary is not an hour and a half of them talking about the Michael Bay movies. Okay, it's just literally acknowledges that they exist because it's the end of the documentary because that's like much newer stuff. But anyways, if you are a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this is an absolute must-watch because it goes into the entire history of Eastman and Laird. The inception of the comic. Like how it came to be, the rocky rough start it had, and then the absolute victory that it had starting out, or not starting out, but like with the second, third, fourth, and it kind of skyrocketed from there. The cartoon. What are you laughing at over there? You are very distracting.
Same thing I'm laughing at. Llamas, get out of the water!
What is that? What?
Well, that's all of the Spanish translations from the Monty Python thing.
Llamas. They talk about llamas in Monty Python.
Yes, llamas have 4 legs, flippers, a forehead, and a beak for eating honey.
Llamas, I don't remember that one.
Llamas are bigger than frogs.
Okay,
that's a key one that I. Oh, you did say that. Llamas are larger than frogs. Okay, there you go.
Well, thank you for absolutely ruining my section there. So
I apologize.
That's cool.
Yep. Yep.
Anyways, all right, there you have it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you love it, go watch the documentary. It's called Turtle Power. It is fucking spectacular. It goes through the entire history of the series.
If you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, actually, you can also go check out that Mutant Year Zero game, which was actually kind of very Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Because it has to do with mutants?
Well, like the way it was themed, the way it was designed, and kind of some of the aesthetic of the environment, it really reminded me a lot of the
was a callback to the craziness of the mutant animal aspect of it.
The Palladium Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles RPG game from like in the Robotech Rift days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because they even talk about that instead. It was a tabletop game.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I didn't even know about until I watched it, so it's very informative.
Yep. Where can we watch this? Is it on Netflix?
You know what? I did catch it on Netflix. I don't know if it's one of those ones that got removed, but I would look for it there first.
Great.
If not, there are other places to watch it.
Way to direct us to watch something that we can't find anymore.
Well, again, it's because I had watched it last year at some point.
Oh, okay.
So Netflix likes to sneak in there and take stuff out of their list there.
It's called Turtle Power.
Turtle Power, yeah.
All right.
I think it's Turtle Power, the entire history of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that. But yeah, they have actual interviews with Eastman and Laird. They have great, they have great hosts in there and everything. It's very, very well done.
Cool.
And yes, James Marine, thank you. Go ahead and post that in Discord for anyone that wants to check it out.
Oh, if you got a link? Okay, great. Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
What is your suggestion?
I'm going to advocate for Genesis Year Zero. Genesis Alpha Zero.
Get the fucking name
I should
right.
definitely get the title.
Yeah, because you want to sell it to people.
Genesis Alpha 1. That's what it is. God
Genesis Alpha 1.
I was thinking Mutant Year Zero from 5 seconds ago.
There's no colon in there, right?
No.
It's just
It's Genesis Alpha 1.
Okay.
It's on PSN. I think it's only on PSN.
Oh, really? I thought they had it on Steam also.
It's on Steam, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying I don't think it's on Xbox. At least not yet.
Okay.
It just came out today. It is $29 Canadian. I don't know what it is in the US, but it is
probably 20 or something like that.
It is from Team 17 is publishing it, the Worms guys. But
yeah, I think that was the other really interesting part about it because I love the Worms series, and those guys do interesting things with a lot of their games.
But here's the thing: the developer is a brand new studio called Radiation Blue. It is a outfit composed of veterans from Hitman Blood Money, Spec Ops: The Line, Settlers, and Spellforce.
Wow, no wonder there's such a mix of gameplay.
It is
in
a
there.
weird combination of things.
Earthworm Jim.
Not Earthworm Jim.
Great games though.
Hard fucking games.
Oh yeah.
Like especially
they will test you.
The HD one's still goddamn hard.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I remember hating this game. Anyway, so Genesis Alpha 1. So, in a nutshell, it is a roguelike game, and if you are not on the ball, shit can get real quick.
Yeah.
There is no way to manual save. There is exiting the game and playing the game. And when things go fucking sideways, holy shit, do they go sideways. So you start off, you are a bunch of essentially clones on a ship.
Okay.
You start off, you pick like which corporation you belong to. Each corporation has different bonuses. Half of them are locked from the beginning of the game. So you have a lot of replayability for like roguelike aspects.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of artifacts that you can find in the game, which none of which are unlocked at the beginning. You have a bunch of different races at the beginning of the game. Like you have access to humans. And that is it. So you start off, and right away, the thing that got my attention is you start off with your basic ship, and you are literally building the ship that you are on and adding to it as you're going like system to system, whatever, gathering resources. Your design of your ship is whatever you make it to be.
Yeah, so this is like a kind of Minecraft-esque, like you build it with chunks and pieces and cubes and stuff to actually build the shape of it outward and then fill it with all of its like security and its abilities,
you have turrets and whatnot. But it's fixed sections that you're building, right? But you have you have to harvest iron and ore and whatnot, and then you build out the sections. They have to have a certain amount of power, which is basically you build more reactors, blah blah blah. Long story short, it starts off as a like a Starflight kind of game, but you're literally navigating the inside of the ship that you built yourself and designed yourself, like in a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is that you're designing this ship. At the beginning of the game, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You have only access to a limited number of parts. You're just putting shit everywhere. You don't know what the hell's going on. Eventually, you start to unlock stuff, and it's like, okay, I should, streamline this a bit better. I'll remove this. I'll put this in place, blah, blah, blah. And then you get boarded for the first time.
Yeah. And then the game's like, fuck you, better learn quick.
Yeah, so, and it's not even just boarded, like, your guys can get sick, they'll, like, have a weird alien disease.
Oh, great, so that's stacked on top of it, too.
There's one in particular where you get an alien disease, and it's like giant bugs will start, burrowing in their, they'll nest in their heads, and then they'll erupt to their heads, and there'll just be these bugs everywhere that go, they get in your ductwork, you have to climb in under the decks, and look for them in these narrow fucking corridors.
Oh my god.
Root out all these eggs.
Space herpes.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
It's space herpes. They're really nasty.
But yeah, like if you happen to miss like as you go down these tiny ass corridors, suddenly you're starting to rethink. Okay, the design of my ship is not only to make it be convenient for me to walk through, but it also has to be convenient for me to get at all these under areas. It has to convenient for me or well protected for me to repel borders.
Tries to build the whole ship out of purgeable escape pods.
Yes. But here's the thing.
Eject the ship.
Here's the thing. Like these components, if these alien animals or creatures or whatnot, they get too infesting into the ship, it'll start damaging your ship, and you potentially could either lose power or atmosphere, and then eventually it'll just break off, and then you'll have like maybe possibly a whole wing of your ship is now just out there, and it's slowly losing atmosphere, it's slowly losing like structural integrity. And then eventually the whole thing will just start crumbling around you. If you don't have enough resources to rebuild those connections or repair that part, you could lose a whole half of your ship in addition to the boarding action that you're still fighting.
Hey, no, that's no, we're not building a space ball.
No, Space Force, no, and make the Martians pay for it. So here's the thing: you're actually going out to these systems, planet by planet. And it each section, there's like a grid, and there's a bunch of planets. There's some space debris. You build a tractor beam; it'll pull in space debris. What they don't tell you at first, or they did, and maybe I glossed over that part. As you tractor in space debris, sometimes it will also come with some creatures or bugs or aliens with it.
You scan the debris first?
Well, no, it's basically you bring the debris in, and then
it's a crapshoot.
You make sure that you got a couple of armed guys in the room, and you start building turrets and
kill
defenses.
Anything if it starts moving.
Yeah. couple of good force fields to protect you.
Hey,
and
the
stuff.
debris getting away.
Yeah. And there are a lot of different aliens too.
Yeah, like this was like, again, it was one of those things, like the art on the cover thing, like I was like, okay, it looks kind of interesting. I just want to know what it is. Watch the trailer. The trailer will absolutely sell you on this because it's one of those ones that's very effective because it shows off each kind of portion, like type of gameplay style throughout the trailer.
Yep.
And it has this amazing way of telling you that it's a roguelite. I don't know if you actually watched the trailer, but yeah, it's like, you know, it shows you can build bases and then die, and then it's like, and then it just plays this like tune of a commander promoted or something like that, and then it shows more of the game. It's commander promoted because the guy died, and it shows like more and more intense game as you go play. Commander like just promoted, and like
it's literally
it
what
just goes on that way, and it reminded me a lot of. It seems like it also has that kind of legacy type of thing, like Rogue Legacy, like not so much you're like the same character, but you're almost in that same kind of universe, and you're just like the next guy in line.
As you
the next alien in line, I don't know, because you unlock different races, you can kind of create a character loosely.
It's kind of similar to what a State of Decay does. As you save survivors, that is your pool of lives.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you're cloning people on your ship, and you have to build up like a biosphere with the right kind of atmosphere to support all the different aliens on your ship.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes you kind of have to pick one alien over another, or, you know, depending on how you get like plants going in your biospheres.
Yeah.
I had like 6 goddamn greenhouses
like you pick up like there's like 6 aliens there. All right, who's coming aboard? Not so fast. I don't have a, you know, a rebreather for you to last all the ship or whatever.
So when you build your cloning facility, you can clone any of the aliens that you have. As you kill enemies, you start harvesting DNA. Eventually you can research that DNA, and you make like a human's hybrid splice.
You start making like a super hybrid, so it can like, it's more survival, it's smarter, faster, whatever.
Exactly. Like some guys are better for engineering, some guys are better on the front lines. There's one group in particular had like way more hit points than any other, so I would always try to be that guy when I'm because you actually get in this drop ship, you go down to a planet when you're actually harvesting like minerals, and you're out there like a group of Marines trying to harvest these things while waves upon waves of aliens are coming at you, like horde mode. So, and depending on where you are, it'll be different creatures, it'll be different aliens, and they have different spheres of influence. So if you're looking for a particular alien ability that you're trying to research, which anyone can unlock, if you're looking for a specific type of alien to increase your knowledge of that type, to level up that type of alien, you go in this area, you'll run into them. There are also space, for lack of a better term, fuckers. Both Fremen or Framen, I think it's misspelled, but it's like Freemen. They wander around and they board you. And when you get boarded by them, you know it, because it's not like, oh, here's a guy. No, it's like all of a sudden you're seeing boarded.
Oh, there's
boarded.
Like an army of them?
They're being teleported in all over your ship.
All right then.
So you have to run to the bridge, and hopefully you can like hyperspace far enough away that you can leave their ship behind.
Oh, okay.
Or out of their space.
Because if you sit there, they will just board until you are full.
They will
whatever.
continuously board you. Yes, and believe me, even by the time you get to the bridge and you jump away,
River 2 doesn't want to kill a bunch of Morgan Freemans.
Morgan Freeman. But there could be like 20 or 30 guys, and your crew will react. They have weapons. They kill them pretty effectively.
Yeah.
But you're going to see guys on your crew going down, like, and means you have to clone them all back up again, which means you have to get up biomatter, which means you basically have to murk a bunch of guys to feed in their raw materials into the clone facility. So it's basically genetic harvest.
Well, how convenient. You just killed 30 guys that boarded your ship. Here's some biomaterial. Put them in the furnace.
So you have to you research new weapons, you research new genetic materials, you research new alien abilities, and you can actually start mixing and matching those with all your guys on your ship. If you die, you randomly get assigned to one of the other guys on your ship. Or if you build a specific type of facility, it's like a respawn chamber.
It'll make you like a fresh version of yourself.
It'll be like you become you stock that area with crew, and then it picks those guys first.
Oh, okay.
So you put your better guys there, and you pick those guys first. But yeah, if you die on the surface while you're in the middle of a harvest, then all 3 of those guys are dead, and you lost all that shit.
They can't find their way back? You have a shuttle. It's right there.
Yeah, they're dead. Because you're going... It's kind of like Helldivers. You have your dropship. There's 3 of you out there on the surface. Waves upon waves of these alien killbots are running at you till your counters reset. When you want to get back in the ship, you get back in the ship, and there's like a console on the wall, and it's like, launch, and it like takes 5 seconds or 10 seconds to wind up, and then the back ramp comes up. Meanwhile, there's still aliens shooting at you or charging at you.
Yeah, see, I think if you're quelling the aliens enough, I think your other guy should have a chance to escape. But I mean, it is what it is.
They can go down fairly quickly in the field. So
man, I really miss Carl. Hey Tim, Jan, Bob, come over here near the biomatter feeder for a second.
Yeah, that's about right.
Ultimately, what it comes down to is it's what I described at the top of the show. It is a roguelite shipbuilder, exploration, tower defense, FPS. Did I miss anything? Like, it's resource management,
4X exploration.
It is everything.
Yes.
The only thing you don't do is ride ponies, I think. And even they might even have space ponies. I don't know.
I mean, if there are, then you're killing them for their DNA,
their biomatter.
There was something there. I mean, there's weird like semi-invisible phasing spiders that crawl at you. But there's one fucking thing that looked like
a space pony.
No, it was. I found it
Space llama.
There was like alerts in the hangar bay.
Yeah.
Because you can send them off on their own as well, and they'll do harvesting, but they're not as good, and they're more likely to die. But by the end of the game, it's like, whatever, I don't want to go with you. Fuck off, go. And I came back, there was alerts in the hangar bay, and I just see this guy died, hangar bay, this guy died, hangar bay, this guy died, hangar bay. What the fuck is going on? So I go all the way across the ship to the hangar bay, and there was some kind of purple goddamn witch-like thing hovering over the area, and there's just 4 guys like unloading fucking miniguns on this thing.
You said a witch thing, I just imagine like the most like rudimentary Halloween decoration witch like floating on a broom, like shooting lightning at them.
It was like a purple ghostly specter thing.
Okay, all right.
And they were hauling off on it. I had a bunch of turrets.
It's probably ethereal, so you couldn't hit it with like physical ammo or something.
I don't know. But it was the one and only time I ever saw it. I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know where it came from.
But I want it.
I mean, if
you get its power?
Yeah, if it dropped some DNA, I'd be curious to see. But
here, have some space ghost DNA.
I still have a bunch of shit to unlock, but I'm interested to see how it's going to be different when I start again with a different corporation or with different artifacts, because you can pick and choose from, depending on which corporation you have, some of the stuff that you've unlocked already.
Yeah.
So you can start the game with maybe certain races or certain weapons already unlocked. Mm-hmm. So that would be amazing. But I had a lot of fun with the game.
You're always going to build towards it. You're always going to unlock more content.
Yep.
And honestly, again, after the trailer and after your glowing review of it, I need this fucking game. It sounds absolutely amazing.
I mean, it's not like the best game in the world, but for $30, it is a lot of goddamn fun.
If it's $30 and it does what it shows in the trailer, I'm sold.
And if you check out PSU.com, our good friend John Paul actually gave it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, beautiful. Even better.
We had a lot of fun. And like, it's one of those things, like, it's going to go wrong, and when it goes wrong, it's going to go goddamn wrong. But you'll have a lot of fun with it. And you'll probably swear at it a lot, but
it's a roguelite. Yeah. You're always gonna swear.
But you'll want to start again immediately, and it will all of your failures will inform every step of your building and structuring it. Because you also build them with like turbolifts. It's like 6 or 7 layers deep.
Oh, okay.
So you can build like in all 4 directions. So or all 6 directions, I guess. It's crazy. Love game.
Build a ship of epic proportions.
My life got a lot easier when I managed to find some alien teleporter thing.
I figured as much.
Blip around the ship, a lot easier to repel borders then. All right, so Genesis Alpha 1 from Team 17 came out today. PSN $29.95. Check it out. All right, close the hangar bay. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the things that pop in the hangar bay, they basically like off the underside of the ship, like all alien style.
Of course.
So it's like, that's why there's all kinds of turrets in the hangar bay, just like in the tractor beam area. All right, folks, that is our show for this week. We want to thank you very much for sticking around for this special double wide edition of Digital Fiasco Live and Comic Sans earlier. If you like what we do here, please let us know on Twitter at digital_fiasco. We love to hear from you. We want to hear your questions, your comments,
well, thank you,
and
Gagalosh.
suggestions.
We just heard from him. Great show.
Thanks a lot, Gagalosh.
Means
Good
a lot.
guy. Yeah, absolutely. Love to see all the new people coming in, new faces, new regulars. Love you very much. Yeah, there it is. JP's Genesis Alpha 1. I think that he just that just went live either yesterday or today.
Probably today because it's release day.
I think it came out I don't know what the embargo was, but yeah, it was. I'm glad that I talked to him ahead of time, because if I had to now decide between this and other things I'm playing,
yeah, it'd be a tough go.
Ooh, yeah. Anyway, he says he loves you, but he doesn't return your phone calls. I don't know.
It's because I don't use the phone.
I don't. It's not that I hate everyone, Tron. I just hate you. All right, folks. That's us for tonight. This is Digital Fiasco Live, episode 55. Good old State of the Union for us. And we will be back next week, Monday, at the regular time, 8 p.m. Central Time. Remember that next week, Comic Sans will be moving to Thursday night.
It's new time slot.
New time slot. Well, same time slot on a different day. 7 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. Next Wednesday will be Player's Guide Live, also at 7 p.m. Central Time. I am going to try. I've been trying to get this going for weeks. I want to get Four Jerks Yelling going on Tuesday.
Okay.
I have some guys. I just want to get them all in the room. They've never done it before, so it's going to be a panel thing.
The first show is always a dumpster fire, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, especially for us.
Yeah.
But maybe we're going to see Four Jerks Yelling on Tuesday.
It's Project Four Jerks Yelling. You're still setting the basis of it, so...
Yeah, JT Nuki, there's a lot of updates to that schedule that has to occur now, especially.
Yeah.
Are they angry jerks? Well, not initially, but when we start talking about how awesome BioShock is, and some people disagree, I'm sure it will be. Yeah. Are we starting off as jerks, or you're going to make them jerks? I mean, a little bit of both. I'm sure that the potential for jerkitude...
With freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Lasers. All right, folks, let's get out of here. This is us for another Tuesday night. We're Digital Fiasco Live. I'm Jack McBastard.
And I'm Dandr0id.
Thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week.
Have a good night.